picking up any clear trend that's emerging from what we are seeing at the moment? 66 to the Congress, 35 to the BRS. Are you suggesting now that the Congress could well be comfortable, or do you believe it could still change dramatically?
Well, if 66 holds and goes up to 80, that's the figure that Revanth Reddy has been speaking about. But you mentioned about anti-incumbency. KCR repeating 90% of his candidates. And I was looking at a seat like Srilingampalli, which is on the outskirts of Hyderabad. The Congress picked up a BRS corporator, gave him the ticket. I was told that he is suffering from a huge anti-incumbency because of his innings as a corporator. He is right now trailing. So anti-incumbency can affect both parties in different ways.
Yeah, in fact, that's a great point, because, you know, the one mistake, and I think BRS admits it, insiders admit it, they told KCR, let's change. KTR told KCR, let's change more MLAs. He said, no, these are my strong men. And he announced it 3 months ago.
Yep.
He announced 3 months ago, I'm only dropping 7 MLAs. Now that he could be paying a price for not dropping enough MLAs.
The closest contest at this moment is in Rajasthan. If you're looking and wondering, where are we likely to see a super over? Ladies and gentlemen, the trends now suggest that super over could come in Rajasthan. Not just according to the intelligence dashboard that we have. Even as per party sources, Rajasthan is where it's literally going down to the wire. Let's take you through how the seats dominated by certain communities are doing. In the Dalit seats where the percentage of Dalits, not just the reserve seats, the percentage of Dalits on those seats being more than 20%, so they can influence the verdict in that seat. The BJP leading on 33, the Congress on 35. In the tribal seats, not just tribal reserve, but seats where tribals have more than 20% of the overall voters on that seat. The Congress leading at this moment on 15, the BJP on 28. Muslim seats in Rajasthan, 22, where the percentage of Muslims is more than 20%. The BJP leading on 8, the Congress on 13. In the Meena seats, 13 for the BJP, 12 for the Congress. In the Gujjar seats of Rajasthan, at this moment, 21 leads for the Congress, 16 for the BJP. In the Jat-dominated seats, see, just so that you're clear about what we're saying, a Jat-dominated seat doesn't mean that this is only Jats on that seat, obviously, right? This means that the percentage of Jat voters on that seat is more than 20, so they're the single most influential community, and they can influence where that seat ultimately goes. On those, 19 for the Congress, 16 for the BJP. But the way to read this data is that if all the other communities get together and vote for the other party, then the dominant community also by itself may not be able to sway the results.
You know, I don't know whether Preeti, who's tracked Rajasthan more than I have, would agree with this. But what is interesting about Rajasthan, and Rahul, you can also dip in, is that this is one of the few states where no one caste dominates the state. So therefore, elections become competitive. There is no one caste more than 20% of the state's population. So you've got Jats, Meenas, Gujjars,
the
all
OBC come together.
They, you know, but they all in a way compete for their own stronghold. So you don't have it's very difficult therefore to get a sweep. That might explain this. Look at even in Gujjar seats, it's highly competitive. Look at Meena seats, it's highly competitive. Did you see that caste dynamics perhaps are not as potent as we think as they are in other states where you have a sweep?
No, you know, to be honest, Rajdeep, the elections in Rajasthan are decided on the metrics of caste, and historically that has always held sway.
But look at how it's playing out this time.
Because, you know, usually caste, last time, 2018, the Gujjars en masse went with the Congress. En masse went with the Congress.
Does gender trump caste?
Does gender trump caste? Yes. Now, off late with what you've seen, yes, what cuts across caste lines is welfare schemes. So, you know, it's interesting. You go from village to village and you will see that same woman talking about that mobile phone and that 500 rupee ka cylinder. From Yadav to Meena to Gujjar.
Is that a change quickly?
I think it's not a complete change. Now what you are seeing is a mix of identity plus occupational molded into one, right? When you are targeting poor, you are also targeting lower caste in that sense. But just in case, like in Rajasthan, what you're seeing is a very, very close contest in SC seats and ST seats. In both places, BJP was expected not to do well. And they are, in fact, in ST seats, they are leading Congress, and in SC seats, they are neck and neck. So,
but the one
difference between now and then was in 2018, the Congress swept the Gujjar bastion. This time, it's tight.
Yeah.
So therefore, that's why it's 94-93.
But Rajdeep, it's being made up by the Jats. The Jats which went to the BJP in 2018, a huge percentage of that, if you look at least what the trend suggests right now, are going towards the Congress.
You know,
more to the Congress than the BJP.
Sure.
If for a moment we draw a cricketing analogy,
yes,
the BRS at this moment faring like the England cricket team in the World Cup, defending champions, getting hammered. Only 40% of the BRS seats which they held in the last election, they are retaining. 60% of BRS seats are flipping at this moment. 60% of your sitting seats, like seats which you have at this moment, are flipping over. The Congress is bagging 42 of those 50 BRS seats. The BJP bagging 8 out of 50 BRS seats. No wonder K. Chandrasekhar Rao is looking so glum. And look at the retain ratio for the Congress. They had only 19. They're retaining 72% of those seats. 4 of those are now being led by the BRS. Let's look at the retain ratio for the BJP. Of the one they had, they're retaining that at this moment. In terms of strike rate, the Congress's strike rate in Telangana at this second is 53%. The BRS's strike rate only 32%.
Can you just help us in one what is going to become critical today as the day goes on? At the moment, 11 others are leading in Rajasthan. Can you, Rahul, tell us who these 11 others possibly are? Because those 11 others could have a price on their head come this evening.
Rajdeep, I've just got a text message from Jan Chaudhary and he's saying, please correct Rajdeep Sardesai, the Jat community is 20% in Rajasthan. No,
it's not.
Of the last
it's
census.
not as by...
12%
okay, so,
on record.
You know when Rajdeep
12%, he can say 20. It is 12% on record. So please tell Jayan Chaudhary, I go by data, he goes by his perception.
Okay,
when Rajdeep bowls a googly, I get very scared because he says, just check on the EI. And I'm wondering, is the EI programmed to be able to throw up an answer of that? Mercifully, it is. So it passed the Rajdeep test. Here it is. You asked about the 11 others. I have them on the screen right now. One of them is a BSP MLA contender. There are 3 independents and 6 are from the other smaller parties. So others are currently leading in Rajasthan and they'll become very important in Alwar rural, in Bharatpur, in Bilara, in Churu, in Khetri, in Khinswad, Pali, and in Sirohi. Those are the 11. Rajdeep, next time you want to bowl a googly, just give me a heads up or send me a message before tossing that ball on national TV.
No, the reason I'm saying, look, BSP and the independents and the rest, most of these are rebels who did not get tickets from the Congress or the BJP. We'll have to see whether people like Rajendra Gudda are leading at the moment. That will be an interesting seat to see. Because remember, he's the one who came up with the red diary accusing the Congress of corruption, the Gehlot government of corruption after being a minister in the government. Now, if people like Rajendra Gudda start winning, he's contesting on a Shiv Sena ticket.
It's very clear we will have a super over in Rajasthan. You know, here's the breakup of the rural seats in Rajasthan. There are 156 seats in Rajasthan where more than 60% of the population live in rural areas. On those, the Congress is leading on 77, the BJP on 70. If I look at the urban seats of Rajasthan, where more than 60% of the population is in urban areas, the BJP and the Congress are divided 10 each, which is a bit surprising, frankly, from the BJP's perspective, because they think they do well in urban areas. In the semi-urban seats of Rajasthan, at this moment, there are 24 such seats where the percentage of people living in urban areas is between 45 and 55%. The BJP leading on 13, 8 to the Congress. Rajdeep, you wanted a super over. I think we're heading in that direction. Coffee lao, nashta lao, it's going to be a long day, particularly in Rajasthan.
Well, look, it is possible that one side goes over 100. I don't rule that out. All I'm saying is that it is a fight. And I repeat what a journalist in Rajasthan told me, I thought very rightly, both these big parties put their egos above ground realities. Had the Congress been able to accommodate Sachin Pilot, they might have done well in the Gujjar belt. Had the BJP been able to accommodate Vasundhara Raje, who knows, they would have got that gender factor in their favor. The reason why both the parties are competing strongly is that both these parties have not been able to outmaneuver the others by creating a very strong narrative.
But Sachin Pilot that you talk about, Rajdeep, he was restricted to his own constituency. He has a huge pull with the youth. If he was allowed to campaign across the state, you would have pulled in that youth factor. Only in the last, I think the last 2-3 days was he allowed to campaign outside his own constituency. And on the other hand, if you look at it, he's been able to pull in. Maybe, you know, there's a fracture of the Gujar vote, but a lot of it has come back to the Congress this time as well.
You know, you can't blame the Congress leadership for this, you know, Sachin Pilot, Ashok Gehlot.
Why not?
Ashok Gehlot's ego problem. He was not able to accommodate.
But you are such an all-powerful high command cannot settle between two leaders for 5 years.
But Rashid Saab...
is Amit Shah and Narendra Modi.
No, but there's a big difference.
If Caucus
Ashok Gehlot's track record has been, each time he is at the end of his 5 terms in office so far, he gets hammered. If he actually wins a 4th time, he'll be equaling a record in Rajasthan of Sukhadia, where he would have also become Chief Minister for the 4th. It's not happened yet, But if it does happen, that's a record that's up for grabs. Here is what Chhattisgarh is looking like. It's settling very. Bhupesh Baghel, who was in our office very recently, will be heaving a sigh of relief. In Chhattisgarh, it seems at this moment that the Congress could go through. It's not as close as it is in Rajasthan. Chhattisgarh, which our poll said, could go down to the wire, even though the Congress was clearly in the lead. Here's what the numbers look like. 54 for the Congress, Rajdeep, 33 for the BJP. BJP up on a very low base, Congress down on a very high base, but still quite comfortably placed.
You know, if you look at therefore,
you know, very well.
Yeah.
what we are getting a sense now is, look at what's happened in Bastar. I told you earlier that it was tough. 11-1. Congress leading 11-1. So the tribal vote, which we thought could go to the BJP, is now solidifying behind the Congress in Bastar. Just as it's going towards the BJP in neighboring Madhya Pradesh. 2 states, the tribal vote in Madhya Pradesh going to the BJP, in Chhattisgarh going back to the Congress. So the Congress appears at the moment getting some kind of a comfort factor out of what's happening in Chhattisgarh. It doesn't look like Chhattisgarh would go to the wire. On the other hand, BJP in Madhya Pradesh looking more and more solid. You know, clearly 138 place 88. It's now going to require a huge swing away. And because every region now is polling, you're getting a sense the BJP is consolidating itself in Madhya Pradesh. Rajasthan is, I think, the one with those 12 others which could still go down to the wire. And Telangana, 63-33 is almost twice as your... Look at the BJP though in Telangana, Rahul. Interesting. They're reaching double digits. Sudhir can correct me if I'm wrong. BJP has never reached double digit in a Vidhan Sabha election in Telangana.
But I think the story is rural areas, the Congress leading 44-18. When it comes to semi-urban areas in Telangana, Congress leading 9-5. It's only in the urban seats where it's almost neck and neck between the Congress and the BRS, both leading in 9 each. So, semi-urban and rural is where the Congress is making.
What do you think has changed in rural Telangana for such a tsunami to take place in rural Telangana? What's that one? Is it local level corruption that the guy who was driving a scooter is now in a Mercedes Benz?
Absolutely. Lack of accessibility, arrogance, corruption, and the guarantees provided by the Congress, which seem to be topping up on what KCR was giving in the last 9.5 years.
The other thing that's settling quite clearly is that the India Today exact poll was quite close to exact, right? I mean, we'll just wait for the match to finish before the champagne comes out.
Maybe the Congress, Rahul, should divert DK Shivkumar from Karnataka to Rajasthan.
Bhejna padega. They'll probably have to do that. So here's what Chhattisgarh looks like. In the Dalit seats that we were just discussing, the scheduled caste seats, 10 of those leads are for the Congress. In the tribal seats of Chhattisgarh, out of the 46 seats where the tribal population is more than 20%, the Congress is leading on 29, the BJP on 17. In the Sahu community seat, remember this is a community that had deserted the BJP in the last elections. This time they're at 10, up 6 from the last time. Congress at 15, down 4 from the last time. In the Thakur-dominated seats of Chhattisgarh, 6 such seats, the Congress leading on 4. In the Banya-dominated seats of Chhattisgarh, the Congress leading on 2, the BJP on 1. So, Rajdeep, I hope your Natu steps are all practiced and rehearsed. I think our polls, directionally seeming right.
We will see what happens when it happens. But Shazia Ilmi, meanwhile, is also joining us of the BJP. Mahima Singh has been still with us of the Congress. But Shazia Ilmi, 2-2 is what it appears at the moment. The BJP leading in 2, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Congress leading in 2, Chhattisgarh, Telangana. How do you see 2-2?
I think it's looking very good for BJP in both the states, Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. And if you look at Chhattisgarh, I think we're making great strides, big leaps there. So it's going in the right direction, though there's still some time to go. And I feel we're getting a clear majority when it comes to Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh, and a very clear trend showing victory of BJP and BJP being way ahead. If you look at even the earlier trends and even now, I think it's all looking pretty good for BJP. We are poised for a decent victory in both the states.
2 big states as of now, if you win those 2, you're not, even if you lose Chhattisgarh and Telangana, that offsets it.
Rajdeep, if you look at just 5 years back, we lost in all of these 5 states. So any gain is a big gain. And these 2, if you see, it's huge. Look at Chhattisgarh. I mean, look at the numbers. Of course, the gap is there. We will close in slowly. And as for Telangana, I mean, I guess we'll just be a bigger force there than what we were. But the fact of the matter is, considering we lost all 5 in the last polls, the fact that we're doing very well and just close to victory in 2 big states, it's a big...
It's a good point that Shazia Ilmi makes. Mahima Singh, a quick response from you. In all the 4 states, compared to 2018, BJP doing better. First time entering double digits as of now in Telangana. It's giving a tougher fight in Chhattisgarh compared to last time. It is ahead in Rajasthan and it is ahead in Madhya Pradesh. So for the Congress, on the other hand, there may be a sense that the Hindi heartland may be still at times a bridge too far, particularly if these Madhya Pradesh numbers hold.
I would say that one thing is for sure, the democracy is winning today. You know, whichever side it falls, the democracy is winning, unlike the BJP's desire, opposite to the BJP's desire rather. Because the BJP for the 9 years...
No, how is it opposite to that, ma'am? Let's be fair. They are also contesting... No, ma'am, how do you say that the BJP is against democracy when they are winning, they are winning through the ballot box?
I'm coming to that. The last 9 years, it is the BJP that's been saying we want a Congress Mukt Bharat. So when you try to negate the most prominent opposition party, what does it indicate when you say we want a Congress Mukt Bharat? So opposing to those dreams, it is rather appearing like you see it is the people's issues, it is the people's fight that is thriving over the false sense of invincibility of the BJP.
Okay, but the truth, I take your point, but the truth, Rahul, is that there is, and maybe across the table someone wants to respond to this, because the fact is in all the 4 states today, compared to 2018, the BJP is doing better. It got bested by the Congress in Madhya Pradesh. It got bested in Rajasthan. At the moment, it's leading in both. In Chhattisgarh, it's narrowed the gap compared to 2018, and it's reaching 10 in Telangana. So overall, it seems to be a decent day in the office for the BJP.
Well, even Rajasthan now indicates 100 BJP, 85 Congress. That's right.
So I'm saying across the 4 states, the BJP is doing better. Is there a sense that the BJP can say, look, actually, we've done much better than 2018 today?
Yeah, of course, because 2018 they had nothing.
Nothing.
Right? So now getting 2 states would be a big booster in the run-up to 2024 campaign. And especially that picking up 10, 11 seats where everyone was thinking that now they are down and out in Telangana, I think that would also give them a shot in the arm for 2024 in South.
In Telangana.
Rajdeep, if I could come in here, if you want to extrapolate to 2024,
yes.
If the BJP is to repeat its majority in 24, it has to sweep its bastions in northern India and western India,
yes.
right? These election results so far indicate the BJP could well do that.
Yes.
Rashid, therefore, the Congress needs Rajasthan now. You know, it needs that gap in Rajasthan to close to have some kind of sense that, look, we are very much in the race. Just winning Chhattisgarh and yes, getting the big prize of Telangana may not be enough.
Yeah, I think for the BJP, Rajasthan was in a platter, but retaining Madhya Pradesh is a very big thing for BJP. For Congress, of course, it's a lost case. I mean, they were not very sure internally. Rahul Gandhi himself said it about Rajasthan. So I think Madhya Pradesh is a big loss for the Congress, but the gains in Telangana are very significant.
No, but it's not a normal victory. Remember, if after 18 years of Shivraj Singh Chauhan being in power, this is where the BJP ends up in Madhya Pradesh. That senior BJP leader I was just speaking to a moment ago, you know, this is like snatching victory from the jaws of defeat, because every single data point for the last several months had suggested that the BJP was up against it in terms of anti-incumbency in Madhya Pradesh. To be able to pull off a result like this is nothing short of a marvel in election management and engineering, because this was really an election for the BJP to lose and for the Congress to win. At this moment, in the leads that we have, the BJP is up 19 from the last time, 128, 115 is the magic mark, 116, 99 for the Congress, they're down 13. It's looking, Rajdeep, very difficult. And there's that other data trend that's on our screen. Again, I keep showing this because it's very interesting. I just heard from our production control room that the viewership live at this moment on India Today television is second only to Aaj Tak in Hindi. And given that 3 states are Hindi heartland states, that's pretty phenomenal, which means it's not just more than our competition. So if I do a quick addition of all the other channels,
more
yes,
than all the others
it's
added.
more than all these. So India Today by itself, the vote share, the viewership vote share of India Today at this moment by itself is more than the vote share of all other channels put together. That is just phenomenal.
Is that saffron is coincidence, right?
No, it's not actually saffron, it's red.
Red.
It looks saffron. Don't look for a conspiracy.
I'm just saying.
It's a program graphic and it's not saffron. I mean, it is red and there's nothing wrong with saffron, by the way. It's red and it is more than everybody else. It's also second only to our own Hindi channel. It's more than all the other Hindi channels. I think you guys are doing, by viewership standards and from the vote share we are getting, you guys are doing a great job. So thank you very much for that.
You know, the fact is that Rajasthan is the one state I think that's going to keep us going, even though the numbers at the moment suggest the BJP 15 ahead. There are 18 others. And this is a state with notoriously small margins of victory because there are triangular fights in many constituencies. Yes, Preeti.
Pilot is trailing.
Sachin Pilot trailing at the moment?
Sachin Pilot is trailing right now.
That's very interesting.
But it's interesting because, if you look at it, this is the same place where Mr. Ramesh Biduri, who's a Gujar himself, Delhi leader, was sent to manage the campaign for the entire Tong district. It was a highly polarizing campaign. And maybe if I can take that question to Shazia Ilmi, Rajiv, if you allow me. Shazia Ilmi, if you had got, many on ground say, if the BJP had got their campaign in a more cohesive fashion instead of, many thought that it meandered a little. It was polarizing in the beginning, then you went on to law and order, then you tried to, what many would say, go back where the Congress manifesto was. If you had a cohesive campaign, the numbers could be very, very different, where you completely pulling it away from the Congress.
And if I may add, Project Vasundhara
I could hear you very well, but whatever I can make of your question, Preeti, just look at the numbers. Even in Chhattisgarh, imagine what the predictions were, and we are way ahead by 24 seats. Even Telangana, where we're just making our base, you just see how we are doing. We're doing extremely well there, plus 10. I'm not saying our gain is as much as that of Congress. They have made huge strides. But everywhere, I feel we are very close to making our government. Even in those two states,
nobody's talking about the other states. I'm just talking about Rajasthan was your election to win. History gave you an edge.
But they're still winning.
No, winning, I'm just saying, with a huge margin. That's what I'm saying.
I can show that. Actually, I can plot that on a line graph, Preeti. Shazia, see this. This is interesting. You just see this for a moment, the point that Preeti is making. I want to build on that. Each time the Congress is typically lost under Ashok Gehlot, they get hammered, like come down to the 50s, right? So it happened in 2003. It happened again in 2013. The Congress, each time they get hammered, they just crash. They win, they barely win. When the BJP wins, it wins big. When the Congress wins, it barely wins. 2008, it barely won. 2018, just slightly ahead. This time, the BJP is ahead, but just marginally. So the point that you're making is absolutely correct. That is very different, Shazia, from the trend that Rajasthan has shown for the last several elections. Okay, so let's now look at the national overall card. Just at this moment, the overall picture that's emerging from the 638 seats for which we have trends at this moment. The Congress is leading in 302 of those. The BJP is leading in 273.
You know what my sense from these numbers at the moment suggests is that the BJP has much to feel confident about leading up to 2024.
100%.
Because you've got a situation where you had anti-incumbency against your government in Madhya Pradesh, but you seem to have been able to arrest it to a large extent. I think in Chhattisgarh, you've shown the capacity to make a comeback in an election that was being written off a few months ago. I do concede, and I do believe that the BJP should concede that they got their Rajasthan strategy wrong. That somewhere they took the election for granted 6 months ago, thought we don't need Vasundhara Raje, we will fight this election. At the moment, they're struggling to reach the halfway mark, and they may well be dependent on others. And I think they made a dent, if T.S. Sudhir agrees with me, in Telangana by getting 10 seats, building on what they got in Lok Sabha 2019, 4 seats. So far when I look at the numbers, good news everywhere for the BJP. The Congress therefore needs a turnaround in Rajasthan to be able to feel that this could be a better day for them. Their best news is clearly coming from Telangana, where they ran their most cohesive campaign.
Two quick points here. One, the BJP strategy of fielding their MPs seems to have worked. And I am looking at the bellwether seat of Andol, which is their reserved constituency. It was a BRS seat. And this time, it is the BJP candidate who is winning, who is a former comedian in Telugu cinema, Babu Mohan. He's the one who is leading. And up against him was the former Deputy Chief Minister of United Andhra Pradesh, Damodar Raj Narasimha.
Yes, go ahead, please go ahead.
In Telangana, what seems to be happening that the Congress is doing much better in North Telangana, where they were BRS was expected to give them a fight, and in the southern Telangana, they are not doing as well to be able to basically.
The other thing that's happening on the ground in Telangana is that the police has started to arrive at Revanth Reddy's house, and security is really being pumped up over there because it's quite clear, as far as the police is concerned, and their political sourcing is usually very good, that Revanth Reddy is the odds-on favourite. So the police walas all showing up to salute the new boss. 64 leads at this moment for the Congress. Nagarjun Dwarkanath joins us. Nagarjun, Revanth Reddy said he will not take flowers and cakes till he saw the India Today exit poll numbers. He thought he was winning, but just to be sure, he wanted to see the exit poll numbers. It seems the poll numbers were bang on.
Well, that's true. In fact, our numbers are going as we predicted. People have already come here with flowers, bouquets as well. But what is interesting is the state police and the Hyderabad city police have come here to increase the security. You see, this is the entrance of Revanth Reddy's house, and police have already come in numbers to make sure that there's no untoward incident and to beef up the security. So there is a sense of messaging also that the numbers, as we see that Congress has crossed the 60 mark, people have come in to pour wishes to Mr. Revanth Reddy and the Congress leaders here with flags, flowers, sweets, shawls. But the interesting fact is that the state police and the city police have turned up at Revanth Reddy's house this morning. Just an hour back at 8 a.m. when we started to do the early trends, the police were not here except for his personal gunmen. But now the city police have turned up at Revanth Reddy's house to make sure that they give him enough security, which is a clear sign that the way the wind is blowing this morning.
You know, the other thing is, look at the South-North divide. And I wonder whether someone on the panel wants to talk about that. Look at how South India is voting and the Hindi heartland is voting. BJP very competitive across the Hindi heartland, and the Congress is unable to even capitalize fully on anti-incumbency as the Madhya Pradesh numbers are showing. On the other hand, when there's anti-incumbency south of the Vindhyas, we saw in Karnataka 6 months ago, and now we are seeing it in Telangana, the Congress is the natural contender for power. We've seen Rahul Gandhi's Bharat Jodo Yatra go 12 days through Telangana, go almost a fortnight through Karnataka. Congress doing well. But in the same areas where he went in Rajasthan, went in parts of Madhya Pradesh, Congress not doing well. It makes my point that Rahul Gandhi and the Congress's appeal far greater in south of the Vindhyas than it is in the Hindi heartland.
Definitely, they do have more appeal, but I would say this to give an objective assessment. You know, in Karnataka also Congress won because the JDS declined. Here also BRS declined. I think we're not discussing this whole TRS to BRS thing. When you are a regional party, you have come to create a state, and then and I've seen senior leaders of BRS in conferences, they're saying we want to be national, we want to contest in Maharashtra elections. I mean, what are people going to think?
I just want to put a note of caution for Telangana, just to add to the excitement. Congress at 62. Remember, the 6 others are MIM. Add them, they are in an informal understanding with the BRS, becomes 47. BJP is 9. Add that, that becomes 56. I keep repeating, Congress has to be 65 plus, which they well may be in Telangana, to feel some southern comfort. But, you know, Shazia Ilmi, that's a point. While you're making impressive strides once again in the Hindi heartland, in south of the Vindhyas, the Congress remains the major national party. We saw it in Karnataka, we saw it now, we are seeing it now in Telangana. South remains BJP mukt except for Puducherry.
No, I would concede that because we have lost Karnataka, and just like my Congress colleague was talking about, democracy wins every time. We are not sore losers. We do not blame the EVMs. We do not blame the Election Commission. And you make a point there. But you just look, even in Telangana, you just see, I mean, we are gaining by almost 8 seats. It's close to 10, and you look across the board and you see that, you know, there's a gain and a gain and a gain for BJP from where we were last Vidhan Sabha results to now.
I want to give you some, I want to give you some breaking news at the moment, ma'am. Sorry.
Situation.
I want to give you some breaking news at the moment, because at the moment, and this is good news, which will make you smile a bit more, Shazia, because in Chhattisgarh, Bhupesh Baghel is trailing to Vijay Baghel, his nephew. Vijay Baghel is leading over Bhupesh Baghel in Patan. And Amit Jogi was the third candidate put up there, seemed to be used to split the vote. At the moment, in the battle of the Baghels in Patan, Bhupesh Baghel is trailing to Vijay Baghel. On the other hand, T.S. Singh Deo, the other contender for a Congress chief minister, is winning at the moment. So who knows? This is politics and anything can happen. I keep saying, even within a state, there are all kinds of battles being played out.
Was tricky.
Okay,
Yes.
so let's look at some of the VIP candidates in Rajasthan. In Sardarpura, Ashok Gehlot is currently leading. Vasundhara Raje in Jhalra is currently leading. Sachin Pilot at this moment. Remember, these are very initial trends, so don't panic just yet if you're a Sachin Pilot fan, or don't get too excited if you're on the other side. He's currently trailing in Tonk. CP Joshi in Nathwada is trailing. Rajyavardhan Rathore, who was with India Today this morning, currently leading in Jotwara. In Taranagar, Rajendra Rathore of the BJP is leading. Gaurav Vallabh, famous Congress spokesperson, you'd see him on TV, is trailing. Satish Pune of the BJP is trailing. Pratap Khacharyavas of the Congress in Civil Lines is leading. Vishwaraj Mewad is leading, interestingly, against CP Joshi in Nathwada. Hanuman Beniwal is leading. And Kirodilal Meena in Savai Madhupur is leading. Diya Kumari of the erstwhile Principality of Jaipur is leading. Mahant Balaknath is leading. And Bhagirath Chaudhary of the BJP is leading in Kishangarh as well.
One of the interesting ones is Satish Punia, because he was the party president till about 8 months ago. He is seen as a Jat face of the BJP, and he's trailing in Amer, tough constituency for the BJP just outside Jaipur. So he could be one name if he loses struck off that chief minister list. But Piyush Mishra is joining us from outside the residence of one of the men of the moment. Shivraj Singh Chauhan could be creating history, become the first chief minister to win be sworn in 5 times north of the Vindhyas of the BJP. Piyush Mishra, what's the mood? Is Shivraj Mamaji already celebrating? Have the laddus begun there, Piyush?
Well, Rajdeep, right now as we are speaking, Shivraj Singh Chauhan is holding a crucial meeting with Jyotiradittya Scindia. He woke up today early in the morning at around 6 o'clock, and since then he's keeping a close watch on all the developments. As we are speaking, Jyotiradittya Scindia has entered inside the residence of Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and now there's a one-on-one meeting between both the two leaders. Remember that Jyotiradittya Scindia played an important role as far as the campaign for BJP is concerned. And right now as we are speaking, the meeting taking place. After this, we can expect more leaders to arrive here at Shivraj Singh Chauhan's residence. Let me also try to show you visuals from right outside this very place. It's the residence of Chief Minister of Madhya Pradesh. This is Chief Minister House, Bhopal, and here you can see the nameplate also, a board is also, signboard also, where it is written Chief Minister House, Bhopal. The big question here is that after the final tally is out, after the results are announced completely, it remains to be seen if Shivraj Singh Chauhan is going to retain this house or if some other person from BJP itself will be becoming Chief Minister, because right now, according to tally, BJP has already crossed the halfway mark. But as the BJP crosses halfway mark, the meetings have started taking place.
Okay.
Jyotiradittya Scindia, one of the topmost leaders of the state, has now reached here at Shivraj Singh Chauhan's residence. We'll have to see who all are going to take part in this meeting, which is right now underway.
Why don't you give us the key candidates, because the one name that is striking out to me, and you can give us more, Rahul, is Prahlad Patel. Union Minister is leading. He's also an OBC face, potentially seen as a next generation leader for the BJP in Madhya Pradesh.
So let's zip through all the key candidates in Madhya Pradesh. Shivraj Singh Chauhan in Budni is currently leading. Kamal Nath at this moment is trailing in Chhindwara. He's never lost Chhindwara as an assembly. Once his family, his wife lost in Chhindwara, but this is his pocket borough. Narottam Mishra is now leading. Previously when we checked, he was trailing in Datia. Narinder Singh Tomar in Dimni is actually trailing at this moment. Kailash Vijayvargiya on the seat of Indore 1 is leading. Fagan Singh Khulaste in Nivas is leading. Prahlad Patel in Narsinghpur, that's the seat that Rajdeep was speaking about. The buzz in political circles, if you want to believe that, is if they're looking beyond Shivraj Singh Chauhan, he could be one of the faces. He's up against Lakhan Singh Patel of the Congress and Mahesh Chaudhary of the BSP. Prahlad Patel currently leading in Narsinghpur. Apart from him, Jayavardhan Singh, the son of Digvijay Singh, is at this moment trailing in Raghugarh. Deepak Joshi, former Chief Minister Kailash Joshi's son, now fighting on a Congress ticket, is leading on his seat. Lakshman Singh, the brother of Digvijay Singh, is trailing at this moment. Interestingly, Jitu Patwari, one of the strongmen around Rahul Gandhi, is at this moment trailing in Rao. And apart from this, if you look at Arif Akil,
one more interesting name. वो भी हमेशा कहता है मुझे कब बनेंगे मुख्यमंत्री, कैलाश विजयवर्गीय. Son lost his ticket. Father is given the ticket. Son is dropped. Son was seen with a cricket bat threatening people a few years ago. Good old Kailash ji, who sings very well, by the way. Beautiful singing. So if you wanted a singing contest among MLAs, Kailash Vijayvargiya would be right there at the top. और सुबह 8 बजे वो true Indori style में वो गाना आपको सुनाते हैं.
There's something interesting I can show you in terms of how the women candidates put up by the BJP are doing. There were 27 women candidates. 11 of them are winning. Amongst the male candidates of the BJP, out of 203, 117 are winning. If I do the same for the Congress, this is for Madhya Pradesh. 12 out of 30 female candidates of the Congress are currently leading. 87 of 200 male candidates are leading. Rajasthan 99-83, the BJP thinks they've got this under control. The data at this moment suggests it's close. Everywhere else, the India Today exact poll told you already what the numbers were going to be like.
What is also very clear is the BRS is not being wiped out. You know, I think when you see a political party, still, you know, it's not a party which is going to, and this is true of regional parties. I repeat what a political...
They were 88, they are 41.
No, but not being wiped out. My point is, you know, when you're wiped out, you're at 20 or 25. We've seen in Tamil Nadu in the past parties...
There is no silver medal in politics.
Agreed.
There's a winner and there's a loser.
No, all I'm saying is that...
No, but I don't agree with what you're saying. No. See, if it's AIDMK versus DMK, two virtually equal forces, then there can be a wipeout. You're at 88. Congress is at 19, they've lost most of them in the course of the 5 years.
Sure.
This is what a wipeout in Telangana looks like. You've been hammered at the hustings.
No, you've been...
and it will get worse in the Lok Sabha elections.
No, what is clear is the BRS is going to face a serious challenge. KCR is not getting any younger.
Exactly.
He's going to have to find a new level leadership. Obviously, KTR and Kavita, we don't know whether there's a, Harish Rao, whether there's a next generation leader there. But do you really believe that
KCR from the fast of December 2009, 14 years ago, he served a 14-year period as, as an embodiment of Telangana. That it's run its course now.
Do you believe that this is the end of the road for KCR if these numbers hold, or do you believe KCR is good enough for another fight?
No, he will put up a fight, but yes, the next generation of KTR and Harish Rao would take over. The biggest challenge for them would be now the Congress would want to do to KCR what KCR did to them. That is, poach their MLAs, especially in Hyderabad. And I am told, I can tell you, that talks have already started with possible winning candidates in Hyderabad.
Not just that. When I listen to Congress leaders, they say when you're fighting a regional party, it's war. You will have FIRs being filed against the BRS leaders like they filed against you. I mean, people don't know this story, Rahul. One of the reasons why Revanth Reddy is determined to take on KCR, it was his daughter's wedding. And he was in jail. And he had to struggle
this is 2015, the cash payment.
That's right. He had to struggle to get bail to attend his daughter's wedding. And I'm told he told someone, "Ek din main aisa sabak sikhaunga isko, wo zindagi bhar yaad rakhega."
But there's another...
So this is a very personal fight.
No, but there's another... There's another
Hindi film dialogue.
There's another lesson there, whether it's the likes of, say, Bhupesh Baghel or now Revanth Reddy. Leaders can emerge in democracy if you're willing to look beyond Dinesh and the most obvious candidates who are lazy and not wanting to work so hard. Society, politics, the state, people just throw up a leader like you found in Revanth.
And we are seeing within the Congress, this regional satraps once again coming.
Wherever Congress does something fresh, it works.
Can I make a point?
But still, in many places, it doesn't do fresh things.
Yes, just a point about Telangana. I think what the regions we were looking is slightly different. If you slice Telangana in east versus west, so don't do, just look at the map. Just look at the map you have there, Rahul. Don't slice the regions. Actually, we were thinking in terms of north, central, south kind of.
This is what it looks like, Rahul. You want to explain this? This is the last map of Telangana. It's called the power map, right? So it tells you where the power is coming from. Look at how strong green is all over. This is the new map of Telangana at this moment.
But if you slice it differently, what seems to be emerging, that on the sort of western side, you still have BRS presence. But on the eastern side, which is Khammam, Mehboob Nagar district, it's
towards Andhra.
Yes, towards Andhra. It's a complete sort of like...
Does it have a spillover effect in Andhra
It
Pradesh?
has, but that's only in Khammam district and to an extent in
No,
Nalgonda.
but could it impact what happens in Andhra
Oh, yes,
Pradesh
it will
going forward?
definitely impact what happens in
those
Andhra.
districts are more similar to Andhra Pradesh than the way we were looking at, right? So it could have
No, but in terms of development, I can tell you Telangana districts much better than the Andhra districts.
Absolutely. You know, Telangana actually is a success state in many ways. Look at their per capita income. Look at them on most welfare indices. Look at their paddy cultivation. It's a growing state. It is corruption at the local level, cornering of benefits by a few at the cost of many. The inaccessibility, the farmhouse chief minister, arrogance, the charges that you had to tie up with BJP, all of them have worked against. But you know, an interesting one line on WhatsApp from a Congress neta on Telangana, where they are having their biggest, their best day. They said Telangana Rashtra Samiti called itself BRS. Now it should call itself NRS, Nowhere Rashtra Samiti. Nowhere Rashtra Samiti. So you see, you've got Telangana is the big success story. Sunil Kanogulu, election analyst taken in by Rahul Gandhi into the AICC, spent a lot of time and personal
But look at the difference. Kamal Nath didn't listen to him.
Which Kamal Nath didn't listen?
You know, because he's coming from a more old school of political management, Kamal Nath and Sunil didn't get along. Sunil got frustrated with him, came back to Telangana. You have to change the way you fight elections, Rashid Saab.
Absolutely. I think aggression helps. In case of Bhupesh Baghel and Revant Reddy, it has helped. Way back, when Shivraj Singh Chauhan was nobody, he fought against Chief Minister Digvijay Singh in 2003. And as you know, Arvind Kejriwal had contested against Sheila Dikshit. So it always helps. I think in the entire Madhya Pradesh campaign, the Congress lacked aggression. They were
No, but the question that will be asked now is, should Rajdeep, the Congress, have thrown up somebody else instead of a Kamal Nath? If they had gone with a fresh face, would they have done better?
I think
I'll make the point that taking off from what Rahul Verma said, look, this is a BJP dominant state. The BJP hasn't lost a major election here except 2018.
No,
1 minute, sir. 1 minute.
Till 6 months ago, in the fourth revolution.
No, you must allow me to respond. You make a fine point that Kamal Nath and Digvijay Singh have dominated the politics of Madhya Pradesh in the Congress. There was a time when Madhya Pradesh had a lot of Congress leaders. There were the likes of Arjun Singh, there were the likes of Madhav Rao Scindia. Then you tried the likes of Kantilal Bhuria, you tried a tribal face, you tried Arun Yadav, OBC face, it didn't work. The point is, I think we've got to accept Madhya Pradesh is a BJP dominant.
No,
Just to make one
Biggest
See,
news
you
is Kamal
can't
Nath is
choose
trading.
just a face from anywhere. When you are a party which is sitting in the opposition, you also need a face who can finance the election. You can't just pick a person and say,
no,
okay,
but can
why
I make
can't
a
you become
different
the
point?
face?
Rajdeep, the point is
that
you throw up a fresh face like a Bhupesh Baghel or Revant Reddy, because with no disrespect to Kamal Nath, and I know odds on chances are he's watching us at this time because he watches us very carefully. Chances are that with a younger face, you would have got some traction. People look at Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Kamal Nath doesn't look like a mass leader.
No, just to finish, and Preeti, I'll get you in. The fact is they've tried and they've failed. They've tried in the past Kantilal Bhuria. They did not give Jyotiraditya Scindia possibility of being made into this star pan Madhya Pradesh face. He went to the BJP. I think you're right to the extent
that Congress in Madhya Pradesh would be nowhere without Digvijay Singh and Kamal Nath putting together a campaign.
Yeah, you see, they're not, and just to add, and Preeti, I'll get you in. Just to add, contrast it with Chhattisgarh. Bhupesh Baghel is a product of what happened in 2013. Sadly, the entire Congress leadership there was wiped out in a terrible Maoist attack. They needed a new leader. Along comes Mr. Baghel and transforms the party. Now, Preeti, go ahead,
two points.
Sorry, because otherwise I'm accused of stopping you. Please go ahead.
No, Rajdeep, just
please
2 points. The 2 points I want to make. One, where Kamal Nath's politics was concerned, you can't be a bigger Hindu than a state which is steeped in Hindutva, where the BJP comes into question. Number two, I think the Congress will also need to go back to their drawing board, especially Rahul Gandhi. OBC, caste census, every rally, right? Look at our own numbers in terms of our exit poll numbers. The OBC has gone en masse with the Bharatiya Janata Party, right? 56%. What he also did in the bargain is, in a state which is got a decent amount of, general and upper caste, you've totally alienated it. A loss of 13% for the Congress. Every rally... As per our poll, yeah. Every rally that I went to on ground, I heard that this is not going to work. He needs to change his stand. So now you have to go back to the drawing board on that card.
To take off from what Preeti says, this whole Congress narrative of an OBC census, which they're going to make a narrative for 2024. Without a strong OBC leadership on the ground, it's not going to work. Where is your OBC leadership on the ground, Rahul, to take the thing, to take the idea that you want a caste census, you're an OBC-friendly party?
It's not even
Plus,
worked. No, you have an OBC like Gehlot. You have an OBC
No, 1
in
minute. I'm
Rajasthan,
talking
but it's
about-
not worked in
No, 1
Rajasthan
minute.
as well.
Rajasthan, I will hold my horses before we make any broader
I'm
comments
saying
on.
as per our exit polls.
But as per Madhya Pradesh, the fact is, it's a 50% OBC-dominated state. You went to the people saying caste census, it's not worked. On the other hand, the OBCs south of the Vindhyas in Telangana have come to you, even though the BJP there pitched itself as a party that will have a backward caste chief minister. One size doesn't fit all, Rahul, in Indian politics. It's time national leaders realized it. State elections are won on local narratives. Shivraj Singh Chauhan is a more credible, trusted leader than anyone that the Congress had to offer. Simple.
Yeah. See, Rahul Gandhi's obsession with the OBCization of the Congress, going back to the Uttar Pradesh election, where, Beni Prasad Verma at one point was his chief ministerial candidate. It made no sense. The Congress has not had an OBC sort of bastion, a strong constituency since the 70s.
The other thing that's emerging from this data so far
They've
is
tried
that
repeatedly.
about 10 lakh votes have been counted in Madhya Pradesh. That's a pretty robust sample size. 49% of those votes are for the BJP, 41 are for the Congress. This is going to be a one-way sweep for the BJP. And just imagine what is at play. Even the BJP in its own polls and all their feedback mechanisms couldn't pick up that they were winning this big. Every single journalist, reporter who traveled to the ground couldn't pick up that this was a wave. There was a wave under everybody's nose. The only thing that picked it up was the India Today post-poll study that was done, which actually showed the quantum of the victory. That, Rajdeep, is quite special when it comes to data mining.
No, Preeti and I are going to say this, and she will hopefully confirm.
You will say so.
Nobody said sweep.
We said BJP ahead. We came back saying BJP
ahead is different from sweep. You never said sweep.
But okay,
No, I didn't say sweep.
Okay, I said BJP ahead.
My number was 125 to 130.
It's a bada number. If it's, once again, it's looking at 130 right now, but if the vote share gap is 49 versus 41, and if that holds, that 130 is going to go up.
As of now, Kamal Nath, the incredibly durable Kamal Nath is trailing as of now in Chhindwara. There's a Congress election person who's saying, no, he's leading as per ECI. As per our numbers, Kamal Nath is trailing in Chhindwara. Someone who's won 9 Lok Sabha elections there, won the last by-election from Chhindwara. His son is the MP from there. The only time he's lost from Chhindwara is when his wife once contested in 1996. So you've got Kamal Nath at the moment trailing in Chhindwara. So clearly, Congress at the moment on the back foot in Madhya Pradesh, and the BJP also building some kind of a lead in Rajasthan. Once it crosses 100 with a 24-seat lead, but remember it's only 10
but
a.m.
with 15 others, the moment it crosses 93, 94, the BJP is through. The Congress needs to be 100 plus to be comfortable or very close to 100. BJP, even if it's
Congress
slightly...
needs 95. Whoever's in 95 has a chance.
There is one Mr. Durable in Indian politics, and that's Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He's Rahul Dravid now, the wall, whatever you might want to call him.
No, but I think Chetan makes a good point.
I think it's too early to say.
And can I also add a little bit of masala to it? Look at Chhattisgarh. It's tightening. 40 is playing 50 in Chhattisgarh. So you're just 5 ahead of the halfway mark. 5 more switch sides at 10 a.m. in the morning. And you can look at your margin calculator now for Chhattisgarh, Rahul, and tell us. I won't be surprised if Chhattisgarh could also go down to the wire if these numbers hold at the moment. 40 is playing 50 there. That's the closest fight out of the 4 states. If you look at the moment purely in terms of numbers, there's only a gap of 5. You're only 5 above the halfway mark. Small shift in Chhattisgarh could change the way the state is at the moment.
If we look at the national picture, if I aggregate all the leads that are coming in from the different states and throw up an overall picture, in the 638 seats where counting is on at the moment, it's tightening. It's 289 versus 280. Earlier, the Congress they won 320 last time. So it's 289 this time versus 280. The national contest, this is just a talking point. This is just bragging rights. But that contest is tightening as well. 289 versus 280 and 69, Rajdeep, for the others.
I think what the picture that, as I said, it will be interesting to see Chhattisgarh is because Chhattisgarh margins are notoriously small. So we could see a shift there, which could make it a cliffhanger. I think Madhya Pradesh and Telangana are settling down. I'm not yet saying Rajasthan is fully settling down because Again, there's a 10-seat shift required that could change the picture dramatically. But the other states, the Congress's best news, Telangana, the BJP's best news is in Madhya Pradesh. And look at how it's changing within the state. Okay. Tribal areas of Madhya Pradesh, if you go to the belt by belt in Madhya Pradesh, you will see the tribal areas, it's the BJP which is dominating. These were areas which the Congress won last time. Just take a look at a region like Malwa Nimad, which was last time very much with the BJP. This time on the other hand, with the Congress, this time BJP is leading in 12, Congress in 6. So you've changed the complete dynamics of Madhya Pradesh by winning tribal belt. Even in Mahakaushal, 23 to BJP, 21 to INC, and GGP, the Gondwana Ganatantra Party, is leading in 3.
So one of the questions that people will have in their minds, and spend a moment with me as I take you through this on the election intelligence dashboard, and this is where the magic and the true prowess of the EI comes in. These kind of insights, I guarantee to you, even top party leaders at this second will find difficult to process in the speed at which I can. So we'll go through it one by one. And in Chhattisgarh, if you're wondering from where things stand, 52 versus 38, what could change? So here it is, for the first time this morning, a margin calculator. How many seats are being won and lost at this moment with a margin of less than 500 between the winner and the runner-up? At this moment, ladies and gentlemen, there are 87 seats where the margin is less than 500, which means that just the initial rounds of counting have happened. Anything can change. The Congress is leading on 51, the BJP on 36. 87 seats, margin is less than 500, anything can change on these seats. Let's look at those seats where the margin is less than 1,000. 88 such seats, 52 versus 36. So these are very initial trends. That's the point that Rajdeep was making. Very initial trends in Chhattisgarh. So the situation in a tight contest could change unless it starts opening up in some direction. Should I just do the same in Rajasthan as well? Because people are thinking it's settling. Has it really settled? In Rajasthan, if I bring out my margin calculator, let's look at the seats where the gap is less than 500 at this moment. Remember, these are initial leads. On 196 such seats, the BJP leading on 103, the Congress leading on 77. Again in Rajasthan, the trend could potentially change. From there, let's now come to Madhya Pradesh. I'll pull out the margin calculator for Madhya Pradesh. In Madhya Pradesh, on seats where the margin is less than 500, there are 226 such seats at this moment. The BJP leading on 128, the Congress leading on 93. So if you're a supporter, Rajdeep, of any party amongst our viewers, don't eat your laddus just yet. The game has only just got started.
Absolutely. And, therefore, I would say in all the states except for Madhya Pradesh, I think you can still say, I know that 65 out of 119 appears that the Congress is safe in Telangana. I just only put the caveat that when you add the BRS, BJP and others, and T.S. Sudhir, is there any possibility at all of an alliance, of a Mahakutumi of BRS, AIMIM and the BJP?
Well, that would be a bit of too much of a wishful thinking. But one interesting part about that others category, 6 of them are from MIM, 1 from BSP, and in Nampally seats, which is the area abutting the Hyderabad railway station, the MIM is trailing. The Congress is leading in that was a seat where the Congress thought they would upset Owaisi.
In fact, correct me if I'm wrong, since 2009, MIM has won its 7 seats. This time they could be losing 1, and there was a buzz in Hyderabad that Nampally was the one that they could
vulnerable
lose.
seat. Firoz Khan of the Congress is leading.
And I have a particular reason to remember Nampally. I used to go to a court there every few months for a defamation case, and therefore I have memories of Nampally very stuck in my mind. Nampally court jana hai. Correct me, Sudhir.
Absolutely.
There's a Nampally court.
The Metropolitan Magistrates courts are there.
My God, don't ask me what used to go on in the Nampally court, but go on.
I think, Rajdeep, this Mahakutumbi you're talking about is possible if we include, the central agencies, Office of Governor, etc. Then possibly it's feasible.
I know you're saying that, but the truth of the matter is
you can't have MIM and BJP
together. In the past, the BRS has shown a great ability to capture the opposition in some form or the other. You can do that when you're in power. Once the Congress has crossed 60, they'll do what Sudhir said. They will capture the BRS.
Should I run the margin calculator for Telangana? There's phenomenal interest. I mean, the level of interest in Telangana and amongst people from Telangana in India Today's coverage is just phenomenal. So I'll show you the margin calculator for Telangana and give you a sense of how many seats are being won and lost with very wafer-thin margins at this moment. Of the 119 seats, in 40 seats, the margin is less than 500. The BRS is leading those. Congress is leading on 66 seats. So in the initial rounds of counting, nobody is really leapt into a very big lead just at this moment. If I show you a very quick breakup of where the BRS's losses are coming from and where the Congress's gains are coming from. The BRS getting hammered in the north, getting beaten in central, losing less ground in Hyderabad and getting quite badly beaten in south as well. The Congress's gains, if you look at where the Congress's gains are coming from, the Congress is gaining 18 seats in the north, 14 in central, 3 in Hyderabad, 13 in the south. Is the north surprising you, T.S. Sudhir, just a bit?
Well, in fact, it's the south which is surprising me a bit. Of course, the Congress is doing very well, but south, Mehboob Nagar, Nalgonda was where they were expected to sweep. Uttam Kumar Reddy told us that Congress could win entire 12 out of 12 or at least 11 out of 12 in Nalgonda district. So that would be something which would worry the Congress because this was the best bet for the Congress party.
No, but I think North is a huge surprise.
Yes.
I mean,
North is a surprise.
You know, the fact is the Congress is actually winning on the back of the North.
Yeah.
You see, they thought they would sweep South and Central. What's happening instead is the North. And this is where KCR refused to change his candidates.
Yeah.
This is where he decided we'll keep in the candidates who had won a couple of elections 2014 and 18, didn't change his candidates and is paying a heavy price. And the BJP, which won 3 Lok Sabha seats in the north, is actually only leading in 2. So the anti-incumbency vote has crystallized around the Congress in the north. It's the north that is propelling the Congress to a possible win in Telangana.
Most of the ministers came from
That's
the
right.
northern part.
All the major ministers in his government came from North Telangana. Akshita Nandgopal is joining me at the moment from Hyderabad. Akshita, it appears all roads at the moment are leading to Revant Anna's house. Revant Reddy is about to take revenge for the fact that he was almost denied bail to attend his daughter's wedding.
Very much so, Rajdeep. I'm joining you live now from the Congress office in Hyderabad. The celebrations have begun. I just want to quickly that everyone's watching India Today here as well. You can hear the slogans being distributed. It's literally shoved into their mouth as they're chanting these slogans. आप हिंदी में बताएंगे? हिंदी ठीक है? आप बताइए, आपको लग रहा है कि अभी पूरा हो गया जी?
100% मैडम, अभी होने का नहीं। राहुल गांधी जी ने हाथ से हाथ जोड़ो, मोहब्बत जोड़ो, जो बात हुआ।
आपके पीछे 88 लिखा है, 88 तो नहीं पहुंचा अब तक।
मैडम सही बात। हेलो, मैं बात कर दूं, मेरा केसीआर आना, केसीआर नहीं आना, बहन
केसीआर आना।
मैडम डेफिनेटली
वो भी है मैडम सिंगिंग। आपको आपके जगह हमारे नेता जो ठहरे हुए हैं कई लोगों से
ठीक है हाँ आप बताइए
मैडम डेफिनेटली वी विल सिंगल लार्जेस्ट मेजॉरिटी 80 सीट्स मैडम। लास्ट 1 मंथ से 100% कांग्रेस लीडर्स को पूरा कंफर्म हो गया।
कंफर्म हो गया 86 मैडम। Okay, everyone's very high-spirited here. High-spirited. They all want to have a word, but they're all saying 80 plus even now, Rajdeep. It's what? It's at about, I can't see from here, but I can see that it's going up further for 67. 67 plus. They're saying 80 plus.
So there you can see Revant Reddy's supporters celebrating at the moment. There are stories within a story though that are taking place. Let's look at some of the VIPs in Telangana at the moment. K. Chandrasekhar Rao, this is a huge story building up, is trailing at the moment in Kamareddy to Revant Reddy. Remember, KCR is contesting in 2 constituencies. Gajwel is his bastion. In Gajwel at the moment, KCR is leading. So he's leading in Gajwel, but when it comes to the other constituency, the other key constituency of KCR, which is in Kamareddy, which is the real battle that's taking place, Sudhir, in Telangana. K. Chandrasekhar Rao, Revant Reddy, K.B. Rama Reddy, he's trailing.
One of the reasons why Revant Reddy decided to take on KCR in Kamareddy is because he wanted to send across the message that among the entire lot of Congress aspirants for chief ministership, I am number 1. And that's why he took on KCR. Otherwise, we don't see in Andhra and Telangana politics the big heavyweights taking on each other.
And here's a huge story. Mohammad Azharuddin is leading at the moment in Jubilee Hills in a seat which is dominated by the BRS, where Owaisi has put up a candidate against him. Mohammad Azharuddin at the moment is leading in against Magatti Gopinath, who's a very strong leader in that area of Jubilee Hills. T. Raja Singh in Ghosha Mahal leading Not surprising. He, remember, was charged once with hate speech, but he is a dominant strongman figure there. Akbaruddin Owaisi, controversial figure, is leading at the moment also in the old city of Hyderabad. It's a seat which the AIMIM has held. Harish Rao, Siddipet, right-hand man of KCR, nephew of KCR and also finance minister, is leading at the moment there from Siddipet. Etala Rajender, the BJP strongman, contesting also 2 seats, is trailing at the moment in Gajwel. So that's a bit of a setback for the BJP, but BJP expected not to win that seat from, let's see if there is any other seat that's significant at the moment. Bandi Sanjay Kumar of the BJP, its former president, its OBC face, is trailing at the moment. So the BJP is taking a bit of a hit in Telangana with some of its strongmen. Madhu Yaksha Gaud is former MP, is hoping to become a minister in Telangana. In a tough seat is the ex-Nizamabad MP, is leading at the moment in Lal Bahadur Nagar. Yes.
Gaud was thought to be the urban counterpoint to KT Ramarao as far as the Hyderabad space was concerned. Now, whether he will be able to do so in Hyderabad, build up the party in Hyderabad, that will be a tall order. But Madhu Yaksha Gaud would be the person to look out for.
You know, if we look at the region map of one last time of Telangana, because of that huge interest there, the BRS is leading in 9 but down 3 in Hyderabad. The Congress making some gains at the moment in Hyderabad. So is the BJP at the moment in Hyderabad. If you go down south at the moment in Telangana, the Congress is leading but in a tough fight. BRS down 14. They had swept this region. Congress leading in 19. The real story of Telangana remains the north, because here the Congress is leading in 23, BRS in 7, BJP in 2, areas of Adilabad, Nizamabad. This is where the Congress is making its big leap forward in the state. And in central Telangana at the moment, it is the Congress all the way 21 to 9, areas like Khammam among others. So you've got the Congress in Telangana clearly in the lead at the moment.
Rajiv,
the best news for the Congress coming from Telangana.
About North Telangana, these include the tribal areas. This includes the coal belt, where again the Congress had made huge inroads. There was a lot of resentment against the BRS among the coal belt areas.
And correct me if I'm wrong, large Muslim population here. So the Muslim OBC, ST, SC combined in Telangana, traditional Congress base, areas like Medak, which Indira Gandhi famously won in 80, are coming back to the Congress. The best news for the Congress in Telangana. It's a tough fight though. Chhattisgarh, Rahul has been waiting for one super over. We thought the super over will be Rajasthan. As of now, who knows? That super over could be in Chhattisgarh.
It is tightening in Chhattisgarh. Let's look at the numbers from Chhattisgarh just at this moment, because initially it seemed the Congress was quite comfortably placed in Chhattisgarh. That no longer seems to be the case. The data at this moment suggests the Congress is leading on 47, the BJP is leading on 43. 46 is the halfway mark. So the Congress only 1 seat above the halfway mark. That cannot be good news from the Congress. Let's look at what's happening in the different regions. Remember, the path to power in Chhattisgarh usually comes from the Bastar region. The Congress leading in 8 of those 12 seats, the BJP leading on 4. They were hammered in Bastar last time round. In the rest of Chhattisgarh,
it's 45 all round. It's a tie at the moment. The super over is coming as of now from Chhattisgarh. 45 each in
and Rajasthan seems from the moment, from the data, to be settling in favor of the BJP, at least at this moment. Our poll went up to 100. There's 7 more than where our poll ended. But Chhattisgarh is indeed going down to the super over.
See, Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh, they were one state until year 2000.
Yes.
And since then, all elections, the voting pattern has been similar. If you look at it, 2003 election, 2008 election, 2013 election, 2018 election, it was the same, on same lines.
For the first time, Rashid Saab, since counting started in the morning, the BJP has overtaken the Congress.
I'm not surprised.
Overtaken the Congress in Chhattisgarh. It's now 47 versus 43. Chhattisgarh is getting exciting. If they're able to win Chhattisgarh, along with sweeping Madhya Pradesh and winning Rajasthan, the BJP will be dancing. They would have swept the heartland.
And it will be huge, because look at what happened in 2018. In 2018, all these 3 states were won by the Congress. The Congress won a near 3/4 majority in Chhattisgarh. That is being overturned, Rahul, by the Congress actually now declining sharply, and the BJP now leading by 4 in Chhattisgarh. So you've got the distinct possibility of a 3-1 verdict in favor of the BJP. As we stand today, it's the BJP leading in 3 states, the Congress just in 1, which suggests that the Congress, and remember, the BJP won 62 out of 65 Lok Sabha seats in these 3 states. So these results will give the BJP a huge boost. When you lost 2018 in the Vidhan Sabha and still won Lok Sabha, imagine when you win the Vidhan Sabha, you could, you will only feel even more confident
but these
of
are
2024.
Just trends. Things could still change. But at this moment, the BJP in Chhattisgarh has a 52% strike rate. In a bipolar fight, 52 is good because the Congress's strike rate is only 48. Let's just try and get into Chhattisgarh for a moment because there's been a twist in the tail in Chhattisgarh. The BJP leading for the first time, 46 versus 44. Dr. Raman Singh, the former Chief Minister of the BJP, on his seat in Rajnandgaon is trailing. Bhupesh Baghel in Patan at this moment seems to be trailing. Amit Jogi, Ajit Jogi's son, is trailing in Patan. It's Vijay Baghel, who is the MP from that area. He currently is leading in Patan. T.S. Singh Deo in Ambikapur, the Congress party Deputy Chief Minister, is trailing as well. Arun Sahu, who's the new face of the BJP coming from the Sahu community, is currently leading in Lormi. Brij Mohan Agarwal, one of the businessman faces, he doesn't like to be called a businessman, but a trader face of the BJP, he's leading in his Raipur city south seat. So this is a big twist. It could be 3-0. If it is 3-0, bragging rights, they'll say, okay, Congress is relegated to the south. In the heartland, sir. They'll say Congress is
there are 4 states going to the polls.
I said Congress will be relegated to the south.
There's a possibility here of 4 first-time chief ministers.
Yeah, Arun Sahu would be, to me, my mind, be the front runner because again he fits in with what the BJP wants, create a clear build OBC faces across the Hindi heartland. If the BJP wins Chhattisgarh, and it's still a big if because it's very close, Arun Sahu could be a potential.
If they want to take a more controversial decision, former IAS officer O.P. Chaudhary could be considered as well.
And he's younger as well.
He's younger. The BJP top brass loves him.
You could have 4 first-time chief ministers.
And Rahul, you see this fellow, this Vijay Baghel, he's not only a Lok Sabha MP, he's a giant killer. In 2008 also he had defeated Bhupesh Baghel.
And you know what the BJP did very successfully in Chhattisgarh, Rahul, is they got a strong candidate against Bhupesh Baghel. So he was, virtually signaling that we are taking the battle into the enemy camp. Also put up a lot of smaller parties and independent candidates sponsored by the BJP. We'll have to see your margin calculator to look at, the margin. But my sense is these others are playing a crucial role at the moment in Chhattisgarh. In the past, it used to be the BSP and the Gondwana Ganatantra Party which would play that role. Now you've got Amit Jogi's party, the Congress Janta, the JCC, the Janta Chhattisgarh Congress, and you've got a lot of independents who are denied tickets who are playing a role. So Chhattisgarh is the state, Rahul, that could go down to the wire. And if the BJP wins Chhattisgarh, wow, 3-1, Narendra Modi, Amit Shah will have reason to celebrate today.
So I just want to explain before I show the margin calculator that the caveat to keep in mind when you look at the margin calculator is that these are very initial rounds of polling. So a lot of seats will look like they're in the margin. That could change as more votes get counted. So in the margin calculator, there are 80 seats out of 90 in Chhattisgarh, which are being won and lost by margins of less than 500 votes. And it's a dead heat, 40 versus 40. 40 for the BJP, 40 for the Congress. When the margin is less than 500, the ball can swing in either camp, Rajdeep.
It can swing in either camp, but Chhattisgarh clearly, once it's to the wire, you've got a state where there could be the potential resort politics. There is a lot of pressure on individual MLAs, particularly if the others get a couple. One side is 42, others is 44. At 45 each, it's still anyone's game in Chhattisgarh. So I think if there is one state which is going to the wire at the moment, it is Chhattisgarh, smaller constituency. Are you surprised, Rahul Verma, by some of these Chhattisgarh numbers? A party which gets 68 seats last time is now struggling to cross the halfway mark. Bad news for the Congress.
See, some surprise because everyone was expecting Chhattisgarh to go in Congress way. But after the Axis My India poll, which actually indicated that it could be a very, very close fight, what we are seeing today is something we were forewarned of. What is much more sort of like interesting about Chhattisgarh is that BJP picking up not just among OBCs, but also doing well in ST seats.
There is
an interesting... Look at the swing, and you could show us that. Look at the swing compared to last time. You will have a 7 to 8% swing for the BJP already there.
You know, what this shows is where the duel is BJP versus Congress. 12%. At this moment, the BJP is pounding the Congress. Where it's Congress versus the BRS, the Congress is beating the BRS. For the first time since I started tracking this data, the BJP has now overtaken the Congress in the national tally. So if I add the seats and the trends from each of the 4 states where counting is on at the moment, the BJP out of those 638 currently leading in 287, the Congress leading in 283. Last time they had 320. So the Congress has come down significantly from 2018. The BJP is up at 287 for the first time in the aggregate. This aggregate means nothing. It's just bragging rights. Bragging rights in politics are very important though. 287 leads for the BJP, Congress now at 283. They won't like this.
And I'll tell you a small story within Chhattisgarh that's developing. In Bastar, Congress leading in 7, BJP in 5. Remember last time Congress won 11 out of 12 and eventually won the 12th in a by-election. The Adivasi Samaj formed a party called Hamar Adivasi, and I went to some areas. They were objecting to the fact that when religious conversion was taking place, and the Christian tribals wanted protection, the Baghel government didn't give it to them. That the Baghel government didn't stand by them in their hour of need. Baghel government didn't give them some of their forest rights that they wanted. And they said, we are forming our own party. I won't be surprised if HMR, the Hamar Adivasi party, which has been set up by the likes of the old Congress leader Arvind Netam, who left the Congress in August this year, are actually denting the Congress in Bastar. And we are seeing with Sarguja also, where the Congress had swept, T.S. Singh, Dev kind of leader losing, someone who's won with 50% plus of the vote. So that is making a difference.
Shivraj Singh Chauhan is speaking at this moment. He'd be delighted. I spoke to him after the poll. Let's listen to him. And this is the Madhya Pradesh Chief Minister speaking at this moment.
गैस के रिसाव के कारण हजारों भाई बहन जिनमें हमारे छोटे छोटे बच्चे शामिल थे, उन्होंने अपनी जिंदगी खो दी, असमय काल के गाल में समा गए। भोपाल का वो दृश्य भूलता नहीं है जब सड़कों पर अपनी जान बचाने अपने बच्चों को लेकर भाई और बहन दौड़ रहे थे और वो भयानक दृश्य ऐसा है कि कई मवेशी भैंसें ऐसी थी जिनके पेट फट गए थे। दौड़ते दौड़ते कई लोग गिरे और हमेशा के लिए दुनिया छोड़ के चले गए। मैं हम सब भाई बहनों के चरणों में श्रद्धा के सुमन अर्पित करता हूं, लेकिन इस संकल्प के साथ कि फिर कोई शहर भोपाल ना बने। ऐसी गैस ट्रेजेडी फिर ना दोहराई जाए। हमें सबको सोचना पड़ेगा। केवल मध्य प्रदेश और देश की बात नहीं करता, दुनिया को भी, कि भौतिक प्रगति की अंधी चाह में हम प्रकृति के साथ ऐसा खिलवाड़ ना करें कि प्रकृति हमको ही निगल ले। और इसलिए विकास और पर्यावरण में हमको संतुलन स्थापित करना पड़ेगा। ये धरती सबके लिए है, मनुष्यों के साथ साथ कीट पतंगे, जीव जंतु, पशु पक्षियों के लिए भी है। तो सबके लिए धरती सुरक्षित बने और आने वाली पीढ़ियों के रहने के लायक भी बनी रहे। ऐसे सारे प्रयास न केवल हमको मध्य प्रदेश में बल्कि देश में और दुनिया में सबको करने पड़ेंगे। अभी दुबई में प्रधानमंत्री जी ने, श्रीमान नरेंद्र मोदी जी ने धरती को बचाने के लिए जो आवश्यक कदम उठाने उनका जिक्र किया था। भारत उस रास्ते पर चलेगा। मध्य प्रदेश भी हर संभव प्रयत्न करेगा कि पर्यावरण के साथ छेड़छाड़ ना हो और आगे हम विकास को ऐसा संतुलित करें कि वो विकास हमारे लिए जानलेवा ना बने। मैं एक बार फिर गैस पीड़ित भाई और बहनों के जो नहीं रहे उनके चरणों में श्रद्धा के सुमन अर्पित करता हूं। जो हैं उनके कल्याण के काम हम करते रहेंगे और आगे फिर कोई ऐसी ट्रेजेडी ना हो इसके लिए हर संभव प्रबंध करेंगे।
Remember, of course, today is December 3rd, and 1984, December 2nd night, 3rd morning was when the horrific Bhopal gas tragedy took place, killing thousands of people. Shivraj Singh Chauhan remembering that day.
But it's also a show of confidence, Rajdeep. The fact that he's emerging, he's also staking claim.
That's right.
Because I've done it. No matter how much the BJP in different quarters in Madhya Pradesh tried to undermine him, at 138 with 21 leads from the last time, Shivraj Singh Chauhan, like Yogi Adityanath in Uttar Pradesh, emerging as a force in his own right. No matter what you think, you know, people even in the BJP were saying, bore ho gaye, ubasi aa gayi, thak gaye, he's sounding repetitive. If he's been able to lead the BJP to 138 leads at this moment with 29 trends over the last elections, Shivraj Singh Chauhan is one of the biggest winners today. Make absolutely no mistake about that. That's the verdict. And his Ladli Bahina scheme turning out to be a game changer. Our poll was showing a 10% vote share gap between the BJP and the Congress amongst the women. This, like Yogi, in Uttar Pradesh, where the BJP thought 220, 230, they actually ended up with more than 300. This is a big victory for the man of the moment, Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
And, you know, after our poll, when we conducted it, he spoke to us on the phone. He was, in fact, while the poll was on, his secretary was sending messages. And one of the things that he mentioned, which I thought is an important word in politics, it's the word called bharosa. It means trust. You see, Shivraj Singh Chauhan put 1,250 rupees in the pockets of women through the Ladli Bahina scheme. The Congress promised it. But when I'm getting it already from one person, I tend to trust him. I got a sense, Preeti, when we traveled, and you traveled a lot there as well, that women trusted Shivraj Singh Chauhan to deliver on that promise. Yes, there were other serious problems. There are paper leak problems. There was the Patwari recruitment scam. There is a sense that, you know, there are very few jobs that the government has created. But purely on the gender factor, it appeared that Shivraj Singh Chauhan, and not just Ladli Bahina, before that there's Ladli Lakshmi. In fact, he told me that I've had a series of schemes for 30 years. Don't just focus on this. Do you agree that there is gender which cut across caste in Madhya Pradesh?
Well, you're right there, and it comes from with what you pointed out right in the beginning, Rajdeep, bharosa. So there is a sense of affinity that the women of Madhya Pradesh, you know, the fact is we can talk ad nauseum, but the fact he's called Mamaji hasn't come overnight, right? It's been coined, it's been fueled, and it's been fueled over generations per se, where the women of Madhya Pradesh are concerned. So you'll speak to somebody who's just the first time voter, and you speak to the grandmother of that voter and 3 generations of that, you know, in the same family. They have that affinity where they believe that he will deliver on, you know, on these grounds. While in this case, the Congress was offering 1,500 rupees, but for them, 1,000 rupees raised to 1,250 rupees was a lot more than the promise of a 1,500 rupees in case the Congress government came to power. And this is what cut across regions. It cut across the Chambal region to the Mahakoshal region, and it also cut across, you know, to the other Bundelkhand and Bagelkhand.
So we can show that, Preeti. On the election intelligence dashboard, I can show you where the BJP's leads are actually coming from. The BJP is down 3 in the Bagelkhand region. Bagelkhand, I just got somebody saying, Bagelkhand, Bagelkhand is not sounding right. Okay, so Bagelkhand. In Bundelkhand, they're up 7. In Chambal, the BJP is up 11. That's good news for Jyotiraditya Scindia. In Mahakoshal, the BJP is up 6. In Malwa, the BJP is up 4. In Nimar, the BJP is up 5 seats. If I look at the Congress's gains and losses, the Congress is losing 6 seats in Bundelkhand, 10 in Chambal, 7 in Mahakoshal, 4 in Malwa, and 3 in Nimar. Pooja Shali joins us from right outside Shivraj Singh Chauhan's residence. There is a question that's been asked within BJP circles in particular, whether there will be a generational change, whether the top brass in Delhi will want to change the chief minister. Given that the BJP currently leads at 139, are Shivraj Singh Chauhan supporters confident that it will be Mama Ji once more?
Let's ask that question then, because for now, Rahul, what a moment this is turning out here in Bhopal in Madhya Pradesh. Just for the starters, I'm at the Chief Minister's residence. This is where Shivraj Singh Chauhan, 4-time Chief Minister, 2005, when he took over, 2008 to 2013, then returning in 2020 after the Congress government had collapsed. These workers are all set, and like you heard, Shivraj Singh Chauhan's confidence. He's gone ahead as per schedule for the Bhopal gas already, where he's paid the tribute, says we'll continue to work. Let's ask the question. अच्छा, एक बात बताइए, आप आइए, इतने सालों से आपने शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी को देखा है मुख्यमंत्री. अब क्या शिवराज सिंह चौहान जी ही आने चाहिए, मामा ही आने चाहिए, या कोई और आना चाहिए, बदल जाना चाहिए?
शिवराज सिंह चौहान. शिवराज भैया राज करो, हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं. शिवराज भैया राज करो, हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं.
मुख्यमंत्री, ये बदलाव नहीं चाहिए जो कह रहे थे कि इतने सालों से है, अब तो बदल जाना चाहिए, कांग्रेस आ जाएगी. तो ये जो अभी रुझान आ रहे हैं 130 से 140 की तरफ, ये क्या दर्शाता है?
शिवराज भैया को जनता चाहती है, क्योंकि उन्होंने इतने अच्छे काम किए हैं कि अभी तक मध्य प्रदेश में किसी भी मुख्यमंत्री ने नहीं किए. और विकास बोलता है. हाँ बोली, शिवराज जी का काम बोलता है, जो फालतू गप्पे छप्पे नहीं, कुछ नहीं चलेंगे कांग्रेस के.
लाडली बहना चली आप?
अरे लाडली बहना नहीं, दौड़ के चली. अब लाडली बहनों ज्यादा काम रहा पुरुषों का. पुरुषों का
भी काम किया.
अरे मैं आप बताऊं, तन मन और धन.
All right, so these are the supporters, and I must add here, of course, there is Ladli Behna scheme for the young women, for girls, but remember, there's also the tribal section here, 47 seats that BJP had lost earlier in 2018. It had gone to the Congress party. Is it going to get that back? Because it's the tribal belt, it's the women, it's the young girls. And now this gentleman says also the men have voted, and they are saying it has to be Shivraj Singh Chauhan. We are not ready for any change. Bharatiya Janata Party.
आज तक की जो रिपोर्टिंग बता रहे थे 149 गलत बता रहे थे कि ये ऐसा बोल दिया कांग्रेस, जबकि 100 इससे ऊपर आएगी.
तो बिल्कुल सही बैठा है हमारा रुझान. बिल्कुल. See, so the people here, Rahul, Rajdeep, they are watching Aaj Tak India Today's Access My India polls, and they are saying it's actually there. Where what we were suggesting, 140 to 162, that is what is happening presently, and it's only trending. So back to you in the studio. Here I can tell you preparations are on. Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Jyotiraditya Scindia have gone as per schedule to pay tribute over the anniversary of Bhopal gas tragedy, but they'll be returning here at the Chief Minister's house. Laddus are ready. I can tell you that they're just waiting for an official confirmation.
I hope you get some of those laddus as well. The good thing about being a reporter on the ground is you can eat a laddu no matter who wins, right? Especially for India today, we can have laddus. We can have laddus in both hands, and if the poll has done as well as it has, then we can have double the laddus. Here is the retain ratio of Telangana. What this suggests is just gives you the sense of anti-incumbency against K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Out of the 88 seats that the BRS had won last time, they are currently trailing on 61% of those seats, retaining only 34 of those 88. And the big wins are coming for the Congress, which has bagged 50 seats, which the BRS had last time. The BJP's picked up 2 seats the BRS had last time. Others have picked up 2. For the Congress, it had 19 seats that it won last time. They're retaining 74% of those. They've lost 5. 4 of those are going to the BRS, none to the BJP, none to the AIMM. So the BJP had only 1 seat, so that doesn't really make much of a difference. Let's look at the BRS's gains and losses and where these are coming from. In the northern part of Telangana, the BRS is currently trailing on 20 seats they had last time. In the central part of Telangana, the BRS is down 12 from the last time. In Hyderabad, the BRS is down 3. In the southern region of Telangana, the BRS is down 15. Where are the Congress's gains and losses? As I said, and this is the magic and the power of the election intelligence dashboard, which we've worked so hard with the India Today Data Intelligence Unit to power live for you. 19 of the leads for the Congress coming from the north, 14 of the leads for the Congress coming from central, 3 interestingly from Hyderabad. The Congress was supposed to be a wipeout in Hyderabad. That doesn't seem to be the case. 14 of those leads, T.S. Sudhir, coming from the south. And interestingly, even in Chhattisgarh, the Congress is now back in the lead. So our poll, I mean, beyond a point, we don't really care who wins, but we want our poll to be correct. Congress again in the lead in Chhattisgarh.
Our poll is also 3-1. Our poll as of now is 3-1. We are completely spot on in Madhya Pradesh. We are completely spot on in Telangana. We are completely spot on in Chhattisgarh. It's in Rajasthan.
No, but we were at 100.
But there we will say Rajdeep won, Pradeep Gupta.
But our poll was 100 in Rajasthan.
If I could add here,
in
Chhattisgarh, the Congress is ahead, but both Singhdeo and Baghel are trailing.
But by a very narrow margin. So Vijay Baghel is leading by just about 1,000 votes against Bhupesh Baghel in Patan. So that's not a very big
Rahul
lead.
Kanwal, 9 p.m. on your News Today group. I have given my number 2 plays 2. As of now, 2 is playing 2.
Rajdeep,
right?
I must tell our viewers, it's very slippery. Very slippery. One second. The numbers we have to stick. The numbers, Rajdeep, we have to stick with are our post-poll numbers. If the post-poll numbers are right, then we are.
As of now, 3 of our post-poll numbers are spot on. In Rajasthan, we had given the edge to the Congress in a tight race. All I'm saying, please see my number if you can.
But Rajdeep, you know, it might be too premature, like Raman Singh from the BJP in Chhattisgarh, who's already tweeted that Suraj ug gaya hai for the BJP. So
you see the problem. The problem for the BJP in Chhattisgarh at the moment is that the rural seats still the Congress is leading 41 to 31. It's in urban and semi-urban that the BJP is leading the Congress. So, in fact, in urban it's 6-3, in semi-urban 5-4. They will need to make up that gap in the rural seats. Okay. The tribal areas could still be critical, but it could go down to the wire.
Okay, so
Chhattisgarh could go to the wire.
Let's spend a moment in Chhattisgarh to try and see if and what can change. So let me look at the margin calculator for Chhattisgarh, which will give you a sense of how many seats are currently being won and lost with a margin of less than 1,000 votes. So here it is on your screen. There's 72 seats where the margin at this moment is less than 1,000. And if it's less than 1,000, as the votes get counted, the situation could change. The Congress is leading on 38 of those. The BJP is leading on 34. So there are only 18 seats where the margin is more than 1,000. In the others, there's still a tight contest going on. So Chhattisgarh will keep us busy and engaged for a while. You were talking about how the Congress is doing on the tribal seats, how the BJP is doing on the tribal seats in Chhattisgarh. There are 47 seats where the tribal population is more than 20%. The Congress is leading on 27 such seats. The BJP is leading on 20 such seats. Amongst the Dalit-dominated seats of Chhattisgarh, there are 16 seats where the Dalit population is more than 16%. The BJP is leading on 8. The Congress is leading on 8. In the Sahu-dominated seats, 26 such seats where the Sahu community population is more than 20%. The Congress is leading on 12. The BJP is leading on 14. In the Banya-dominated seats of Chhattisgarh, the Congress is leading on 2, the BJP on 1. In the Thakur-dominated seats, 6 seats with the Thakur population is more than 20%. The Congress leading on 2, the BJP Rajdeep on 4. So Chhattisgarh still very much in the fray. The super over could possibly come in Chhattisgarh.
And the reason why Chhattisgarh becomes important is there's huge difference, I think, between 2-2 and 3-1. At 3-1, the BJP is balle all the way. At 2-2, the Congress will clutch on to its straws and say, look, we retained 1 and we've gained 1. So I think that's how important it is now in Chhattisgarh. Charan Singh Sapra, spokesperson Congress, and Tuhin Sinha, spokesperson of the BJP, joining us. Charan Singh Sapra, to you first. Not looking good for the Congress at the moment, I'm afraid, Mr. Sapra. As of now, you are only comfortable in Telangana, south of the Vindhyas. North India is either rejecting you or clearly putting the BJP in a fight with you, as in Chhattisgarh. Mr. Sapra. Okay, we're having a problem with his line. Let's go to Tuhin Sinha. Tuhin, you've dressed in the appropriate colors. You obviously knew which way the wind was blowing this morning.
Well, the country is increasingly going to get saffronized from here, and this is going to mark the end of the Indy alliance. You know, Rajdeep, two things are very clear. Number one, when it comes to Madhya Pradesh, the combined credibility of Honorable Prime Minister Modi ji and Shivraj Singh Chauhan ji is very clear on the ground. And in the other states, Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan, look at the hatred that people today have against the Congress hypocrisy. It is very important to know that, you know, when you travel on the ground, I have heard you mention in one of your programs, when it came to Madhya Pradesh, there was no anger against the existing government. But the anger is against the Congress despite them not being in power. Why? Because number one, they presided over all the Sanatan attacks which was happening in the last 3 months. They are the hub of corruption in all the 3 states which they managed to retain, which they managed to win in the last 2 years or so, Karnataka or Himachal. They have presided over a financial anarchy with their fake promises. So I think, you know, there is a sense of disgruntlement in the people against the Congress party, including in Congress allies. And Akhilesh Yadav has been the most vocal against the Congress party. So I think this is going to mark the end of the Indy alliance. And for the first time, there is a pro-incumbency factor. Even after 10 years, BJP will go into the 2024 with a very clear pro-incumbency sentiment for the central government.
Okay. Rajdeep, we have over here now the national big picture that emerges. For what it's worth, if you add up all the leads which you have across the states, I want to take you through on the election intelligence dashboard, the overall national big picture that emerges. Remember, the Congress had 320 wins the last time out of these 638. Right now, they're at 270. The BJP is at 298. So the BJP with a 28-seat lead across these 4 states, despite the fact that in Telangana they're doing far worse than the Congress, despite that in the overall big picture as far as bragging rights are concerned, the BJP, Ashok Malik, would like this number, 298 versus 270.
See, if you look at where the seats are coming from, if the BJP, as I said earlier, has to repeat its majority in 2024, it has to win big in its bastions in Western India and Northern India. And of course, get some incremental seats in Eastern India and Southern India. But West and North are crucial for the BJP. And these results, if these results bear out till the evening, show us that the BJP is well on course to repeating its performance in 2024 in Western India and Northern India.
And look at the historical timeline of Madhya Pradesh. If you look at this graph on your screen, the BJP has typically won Madhya Pradesh big. The saffron line is that of the BJP. The blue line is that of the Congress. The BJP won big, 173 versus 38 in 2003, 143 versus 71 in 2008, 165 versus 58 in 2013. If you're looking for insights into what might happen in 2024, remember that's when Prime Minister Modi is on the ticket. If even without having Prime Minister Modi himself on the ticket, the BJP is sitting at 148 versus 79. Those in the stock market, those in corporate India, those watching for what this might mean for the Lok Sabha elections, 148 versus 79 means in the Hindi heartland, the BJP looking very strong. Only in Chhattisgarh, the BJP losing at this moment, but that also not by very much.
They're still gaining from last time.
Oh, they got hammered last time, so they're up on a low base. But Rajdeep, they're coming back, and this looks now like the outlier. This is where the trend has been in the last 5 elections. We're going back to that trend.
I think both, therefore, when you contrast it to 2018 is significant, because in 2018, the Congress wins these states and yet is demolished in the Lok Sabha. Now imagine when you actually have governments in those states and then Mr. Modi comes on the ticket. You know, this whole double engine argument that has been made. The double engine argument, for whatever reason, didn't work in Karnataka. I think in states where the BJP's organization doesn't match up to the power or the appeal of the Prime Minister, the BJP struggles.
But Rahul,
we saw a bit of that in Himachal Pradesh as well, where in Himachal Pradesh, the BJP's organization had got enfeebled. But where the BJP's organization is rock solid, we talk of Madhya Pradesh as a BJP-ruled state, it's also where the RSS is so powerful. Go to any village in Madhya Pradesh, you will see that the RSS has its shakas, the Vanvasi Kalyan Kendras. That adds then to the power of the BJP. 28 out of 29 last time in the Lok Sabha. Obviously, with these numbers, the BJP will feel confident of Madhya Pradesh. They'll feel reasonably confident of Rajasthan as well. The question now comes in Rajasthan, do you go with a new generational change or stick to a Vasundhara Raje? That's a question the BJP will have to answer. But with 151 in Madhya Pradesh, I know Ashok Malik has been saying the BJP may look beyond Shivraj Singh Chauhan. I actually think this is Shivraj Singh Chauhan's biggest moment. Look, I don't think you can deny him right away.
All I'm saying is if you need to do a transition there, then 150 gives you more opportunity to do it than 120.
But where would that leave? You know, why would I do a transition? Why would I break something?
That's okay. The party leadership.
Shivraj Singh Chauhan is 64-year-old and there is no, as such, there is no successor there. It's not that age is not on his side. And Rajdeep, what you were saying about the, the BJP, RSS, Sangh Parivar imprints in Madhya Pradesh, they were very much visible in Chhindwara. When I went to see there was more, the saffron than, the green number of green trees there. And mind you, it's largely forest area. So there was so much of sadhus and sons and all over the country had come to, defeat Kamal Nath.
No, but you tell me, did Kamal Nath make a mistake by saying, I am the Hanuman Bhakt? I am more Hindu than the BJP. What was the alternative? You see, Rahul Gandhi comes to Madhya Pradesh and talks of caste census. Kamal Nath speaks of Hindutva. Where is that one consistent narrative that you need to defeat the BJP in a state? The Congress didn't have it in Madhya Pradesh.
You are within your rights to run down Kamal Nath, but what Kamal Nath did was he did not allow some kind of communal polarization that I saw in Rajasthan taking place in Madhya Pradesh. So that was there, but it didn't work.
But it's seemingly has worked more in Madhya Pradesh than it's worked in Rajasthan.
But my sense is the Congress did well in local corporation elections in March this year. And they thought it was a done deal. Then they won Karnataka, got even more overconfident. I get a sense the Congress has paid a huge price for overconfidence in Madhya Pradesh. And the BJP, on the other hand,
let's listen to Shivraj Singh Chauhan. He's out there.
असीम श्रद्धा और अगाध विश्वास है। उन्होंने जो यहाँ सभाएं की, जनता से अपील की, वो जनता के दिल को छू गई और उसी के कारण ये परिणाम जो अभी रुझान आ रहे हैं, ये प्रमुख कारण है। डबल इंजन की सरकार, दिल्ली में प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में केंद्र सरकार ने जो काम किया उसको यहाँ ठीक से हमने इम्प्लीमेंट किया और जो यहाँ योजनाएं बनी, लाडली लक्ष्मी से लेकर लाडली बहना तक का एक अद्भुत सफर जो मध्य प्रदेश ने तय किया, गरीबों के लिए, किसानों के लिए, भांजे भांजियों के लिए जो काम हुए वो भी जनता के दिल को छू गए और एक परिवार मध्य प्रदेश बन गया। अमित शाह जी की अचूक रणनीति, उनका जिस ढंग से यहाँ साथ मिला और हमारे राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष श्रीमान जेपी नड्डा जी का मार्गदर्शन, हमारे संगठन के नेतृत्व में कार्यकर्ताओं ने अनथक परिश्रम किया। प्रदेश अध्यक्ष, संगठन महामंत्री, उनके साथ टीम जुटी रही और जैसा भूपेंद्र यादव जी ने, शिव प्रकाश जी ने, अश्विनी वैष्णव जी ने जो मार्गदर्शन किया, उससे चुनाव के अभियान को सही गति और दिशा मिली। और इसलिए मैंने पहले भी कहा था, हम बिल्कुल कंफर्टेबल मेजॉरिटी, शानदार मेजॉरिटी भारतीय जनता पार्टी को आएगी, क्योंकि जनता का प्रेम हर कहीं दिखाई देता था।
सभी कांटे निकाल दिए, आप कह चुके थे पहले भी, अभी भी आप।
मैंने पहले भी कहा कि
wondering if this is accidental. I promise you it's not. No person who's in the fray to be chief minister shows up that early in the morning on counting day unless he's taking claim. What Shivraj Singh Chauhan has done from those two public appearances this morning, Rajdeep, is signal to voters in Madhya Pradesh, to all those watching in Delhi, or to all those watching on TV and everybody in Delhi at the BJP headquarters, that this is my victory.
And you know,
that's the underlying message. He's not saying it, but if he had any, he's not staying at home. He's out there staking claim.
And you know, Rahul, Jo Jeeta wo Sikandar, BJP has every reason to celebrate Madhya Pradesh. But look at what they did. In September this year, go anywhere across Madhya Pradesh, the posters would have Mr. Modi on the top and 12 leaders at the bottom, including Shivraj Singh Chauhan, Narendra Singh Tomar, Rakesh Singh. They were all of the Jyotiraditya Scindia. It wasn't as if Shivraj was even first among equals. By October end is when the BJP changed and realized that, yeah, Shivraj Singh Chauhan may be a little bit more popular. This is where the BJP's tracker polls, I think, helped it. They recognized that Shivraj Singh Chauhan does have a trust, a sense of identity that the other leaders don't have, and slowly but surely projected him. I don't think now they can turn back. Yes, there are people like Prahlad Patel, also from the backward caste community, who will be seen as potential rivals for the future. But at least till 2024 Lok Sabha, Mr. Modi's aim is 300 seat, 300 par Lok Sabha. Till then, I think they will stick with Shivraj Singh Chauhan. Rajasthan will be more interesting, because you are not as dependent possibly on Vasundhara Raje once you've crossed 100 seats. There you may look for an alternative.
You've not dependent at all. You didn't use her for the election. Why would you need her now?
That's right. So I think if you are going to see a chief minister election, you agree with that, Chetan, that you know, maybe you want a generational change in Rajasthan.
Whether it's, I don't know which generation they'll be, but they clearly didn't want to project her as the face, whatever may be the internal reasons for that. They wanted to keep control on the state, and now it's just without a face, they won that state. That is a bigger victory for BJP center than a victory
But
with
they
a
didn't
local
include her.
face.
In the dying hours of the...
What's your sense, Preeti? Will they go with Vasundhara Raje or will they look for an alternative?
Rajdeep, in the dying hours of the campaign, Vasundhara did find favour back in branding, back in posters, right next to Modi in the last 2 rallies. But having said that, if this number stays at about 100, then yes, Vasundhara Raje will be somebody who will be in. If
So
it
what's the
goes,
number
if
then?
they pull it away, over
Post
110. 110, if they pull it away, then I do see that they might think of somebody else. Our own poll suggests somebody like a Baba Balaknath, who's a sitting MP of Alwar and now contesting from Tijara.
Ashok, do you think they'll stick with Vasundhara Raje at 105?
104, 105, yes. 110, no.
You know, it's very interesting what's happening in Rajasthan. There are very few states of North India, and Rahul, you please come in on this, where independents get 20 plus. You've got independents, and we look at their vote percentage, but I have little doubt that independents will be 20% plus. In a 2-horse race, you have a large space for a third front. I wonder if Sachin Pilot could have taken that gamble 6 or 9 months ago and tried to create a third front, which was Hanuman Beniwal, Sachin Pilot, Aam Aadmi Party coming together. How do you see this role of independence in a state like Rajasthan?
So one, in last 5 elections, independent, like basically non-Congress, non-BJP vote share has always been around 20% and seat share has been around 15%.
Yes.
And that's what we are going to see even now. Especially for the Congress, what was happening, that the independents used to tilt the balance in favor of one chief ministerial candidate. Right? Last time, I think because Congress fell short and Gehlot could have his day, because he also had people who became independents. And I think something Vasundhara Raje might be trying this time, that if BJP falls short of number or close to 100, she might rely on some of those independents.
Rajdeep, what one needs to look at, one needs to look at is who are these independents. These are parties which is the BSP, it's the RLD. There is one, I think, which is leading, which is the RLD. Then the RLP, which is Hanuman Beniwal's party. Then you have the tribal party, BAM now. And then you have certain independents like Yunus Khan and the others who have not been given a ticket by the BJP or the Congress, who've gone rogue.
Okay, and importantly, Vasundhara Raje herself is leading at the moment in Jhalrapatan, a seat that she's dominated for the last 20 years. So she is comfortably leading in another potential candidate, Satish Punia, Jat face of the BJP, former party president, is leading now in Amer. You've got Rajyavardhan Rathod on the other hand, who's at the moment trailing. We're told, let's look at the VIPs again. Rajyavardhan Rathod at the moment from Jotwara is trailing at the moment. But that's, remember, only at the moment. So all of the candidates, anybody else?
CP Joshi, Rajdeep.
CP Joshi
Vishwaraj of Mewar, Vishwaraj Singh of the Mewar royal family up against him. CP Joshi, Nathdwara. There, Rajdeep, first up.
Yeah. CP Joshi, remember, once lost an election by one vote. Speaker in the last assembly, he's trailing. Ashok Gehlot is leading in Sardarpura at the moment. That's been his bastion in Jodhpur. Where is Sachin Pilot at the moment?
Finally leading.
Mr. Pilot is leading in Tonk. Remember, this has a large Gujjar Muslim population, expected therefore to win eventually in the end at the moment. Vishwaraj Mewar is the one who's leading in Nathdwara.
Shanti Dhariwal is trailing. He was one of the who orchestrated a rogue CLP in last year.
In fact, I want to tell you, when Shanti Dhariwal was being given a ticket, apparently at the Congress meeting, there was Shanti. Because Sonia Gandhi said, who is this Shanti Dhariwal? Is he the same person who tried to rebel? He was not given a ticket initially, but eventually got one.
Rajdeep, the leader of opposition, Rajendra Rathore, is trailing from Taranagar.
That's right. So the good news for Vasundhara is that a lot of the potential chief ministerial candidates who could be chief minister, Rajendra Rathore being one name, he could eventually win, are trailing at the moment. So Vasundhara Raje looks like potentially at 104 seats for the BJP, virtually in the same situation that Ashok Gehlot was last time. 99 seats for the Congress when they formed the government in 2018. Gehlot was seen as the person who could bring independence together. I am told out of the others 23, 7 to 8 are those who owe allegiance to Vasundhara Raje in Rajasthan.
Let's go across to Aishwarya Paliwal. She's in Jaipur, and Aishwarya, the BJP in a tight contest as far as vote share is concerned seems to be poised to win. It seems the BJP at this moment is likely to cross the halfway mark in Rajasthan. They're already singing and dancing at the BJP office there. Those are images from the BJP headquarters in Jaipur. The Dholwalas are out. The balloons are up, so they were obviously expecting this. The balloons are nicely set, so they clearly thought that they were likely to win. Aishwarya, can you hear me? Aishwarya, I think the dole is so loud that she can't hear us. Aishwarya, go for it. Just go for it. Tell us what's happening there.
So now, we just straight cut to the visuals here. The women, in fact, in large numbers present here. क्या आप लोगों को लग रहा था कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी इतनी भारी बहुमत से जीतेगी? आप लोग काफी भारी संख्या में आए हैं यहाँ पे। क्या लगता है? आप लोगों को लग रहा था कि बीजेपी जीतेगी?
बिल्कुल, ये जीत प्रत्याशित थी। इस जीत की तस्वीर 2 साल पहले लिख गई थी। गहलोत सरकार के कुशासन से तंग आ गई। जनता ने जो बहुमत दिया है, इस गहलोत सरकार कहना चाहूंगी मैं, इसके कुशासन से निजात पाई है। और आज नारी शक्ति बहुत खुश है, बहुत खुश है।
Nari Shakti, Rahul, is something that everyone here is talking about. The women, Rahul, let me tell you, are turning up in large numbers. The dhol here that you can see right outside the BJP office in Jaipur, the dhol taking place here. Everyone is dancing, everyone is in a celebratory mode, and they all believe, Rahul, that numbers will go up as the counting proceeds. They believe that this actually will be a prachand bahut for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
From there, let's cut across to Revanth Reddy's residence. Nagarjun Dwarkanath joins us from Hyderabad. 70 leads for the Congress, up 51 from the last time. The BRS down 51 from the last time. Revanth Reddy, from what we can see, at least his supporters are expecting Nagarjun that he's going to be Chief Minister. The party hasn't announced just yet, but he has that confidence that he's the man who's led them to power. It's his turn to rule Hyderabad and rule Telangana. Nagarjun. Okay, give us a moment as we try and.
But I think, Rahul, what we can do, and we can ask our producers to do this, call 2 elections very clearly. BJP is going to form the next government in Madhya Pradesh. Bhopal is going the BJP way in a massive, potentially 2/3 victory. The India Today Axis My India polls spot on in Madhya Pradesh. All the criticism, all the anger that we had to face in the last 48 hours, getting messages at 5 a.m. in the morning saying your poll is wrong. I'm sorry, the poll is spot on. Well done, Pradeep Gupta in Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh, we are calling Shivraj Singh Chauhan-led BJP is set to form the government in Madhya Pradesh. We are also calling Telangana, that Telangana, barring a last-minute surprise, the Congress is set to form the government in Hyderabad, displacing 10 years of TRS.
No, what surprise can there be? With 51 leads.
70, I'm just saying 60 is the halfway mark. So I'm not saying that they're... Yes.
It's bad news for BRS. It's also bad news for the AIMIM. It's leading only in 4 seats.
That's right, very interesting.
Down 3. And I'm told Karwan, Nampally and Yakutpura, these are the 3 constituencies where it is trailing right now.
Huge. That's huge.
So I can show that
for Asaduddin Owaisi,
Yes.
this is a huge setback.
Yeah.
He takes this area as his fortress. And aligning with the BRS, it would suggest, Sudhir, that the minorities have consolidated behind the Congress.
No, the narrative of the Congress that the MIM has some kind of a deal with the BJP seems to have found some traction.
Absolutely.
In its parts. But of course, these are small leads right now for the Congress. But yes, the fact that he is trailing, because Yakutpura kind of thing, it had only 39% polling. Most of the old city constituencies have had less than 45% polling in a state which has seen 71% polling. So in that sense, the old city, the Congress seems to have breached it if these early leads hold.
Excellent point, Sudhir.
So AIMIM is currently leading only on 3 seats, down from 7 for the last time. The Congress is on 70, up 51 from the last time. If I look at how the minority-dominated seats of Telangana have voted, there are 17 seats where the Muslim population is more than 20%. The BRS is half of where they were last time. Others are at 3. They were at 7 last time. Congress is at 5. It's up 4. So there has been a move of the minority vote from the BRS AIMM tango to the Congress in Telangana.
And one of the shifts that took place in Telangana was when by early part of this year, I would say mid part of the year, rumors were spread or speculation that the BRS had some deal with the BJP. When K. Kavita, who was once accused in the Delhi liquor scam, suddenly it appears that the agencies are going soft on it. The Congress sent coins and digital messages saying BRS and BJP bhai.
Even the PM said that in one of his campaign speeches.
In fact, the PM went to the extent of saying BRS K. Chandrasekhar Rao wanted to join the NDA. Yes. All of that went against the NDA, and Sudhir makes a great point. It resulted in a minority consolidation. Muslims, OBCs and Dalits have come together to back the Congress there.
And one of the reasons why they are doing so well in the north, Kaleshwaram irrigation project, the Congress went to town talking about the Kaleshwaram ATM, that it has been the cash cow for the BRS. That seems to have found some traction if these results are
Nagarjun Dwarkanath is now live with us right outside Revant Reddy's residence. Nagarjun, power, police and politicians seem to sense that that's the man who will be the next chief minister.
Well, that's true. In fact, the followers at Revant Reddy's house also are chanting the slogans that CM, CM, Revant Anna CM. That's the slogans that we are hearing now. And all the recipes to celebrate are already here. The ingredients to celebrate the win. We can show you the crackers, the flowers, and the dole is already here. They started just celebrating now, but a message came from inside saying, wait for one more hour, don't start celebrating right away. And you can see the followers already on the other end in front of Revant Reddy's house that people are chanting slogans of him becoming the next chief minister of Telangana. But what is good news for him is he's leading in both the seats. He's a Jain slayer at this point of time because he took on the chief minister in Kamareddy head on, and he knew that it's a tough battle because it was not his typical conventional seat, but he did go there after Kodangal and contested there. Even on the polling day, he finished his voting in Kodangal and went back to Kamareddy to make sure that he goes around the booths talking to people and looking at all the preparations being necessarily done there and meet the Karyakartas as well. So all credit to him is what the Congress is saying. And also the message that I'm picking up is DK Shivkumar, who is in a private hotel in Hyderabad, is closely monitoring the issue and the numbers now. He's saying that 65 below, we take a flight to Bengaluru, 65 and above, all the MLAs come to Taj Krishna for celebrations with sweets and also some good food in the night.
Yes, so K. Chandrasekhar Rao, the chief minister, is trailing in Kamareddy at this moment. He's leading in Gajwel, but in Kamareddy at this moment, Revant Reddy is leading. That would be a very big win. I want to go across to Akshita Nandgopal. She's at the Congress headquarters in Hyderabad. Akshita, I see the dole is out, the Congress supporters out to celebrate. There's a massive political tsunami in Telangana. The Congress is romping home in style.
Rahul, I can't hear a word of what you're saying because the music is non-stop here. But what you see on your screens is a milk abhishekam. First of Sonia Gandhi, then of Rahul and Revant Reddy. Perhaps indicative of really who's going to be in charge here of Telangana. With the numbers now coming in, safe to say that the Congress is not prematurely celebrating anymore. They're going ahead and celebrating the numbers that they're receiving. I just spoke to the war room in charge who says that it's going to be 75 plus for the Congress. That, of course, we'll have to wait and see. But dancing, breaking out here, people all in a celebratory mood, many of whom have been part of these campaigns as well. So for them, this moment is also a huge deal. Let me talk to some of them and also get in a word. I'll move away from this side because I don't know how much you can hear. I most definitely can't hear you back in the studio. But you can see that all of them are upbeat here. And this is just the beginning. We're being told that Congress leaders are going to be gathering here at the Congress headquarters at the Gandhi Bhavan in Hyderabad to go ahead and celebrate together. All the winning candidates will be brought here tomorrow and there's going to be a mega celebration. So what you're seeing here is just a trailer of what to expect in the next 24 hours, Rahul and Rajdeep.
Thanks, Akshita, for that. Meanwhile, there's been a big twist in the tail in Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, the BJP now seems to be stabilizing in a lead. Remember, if the BJP is able to win Chhattisgarh, it would be a clean sweep. What a win it would be for the BJP in the Hindi heartland. The BJP at this moment leading on 49 seats in Chhattisgarh. Their leads, as you can see, are coming from across the state. They're not concentrated in any one pocket. The Congress is down to 39. That's a loss of 29 seats from the last time. Chhattisgarh is the big story at this moment because Madhya Pradesh is a sweep for the BJP. In Rajasthan, they've been in the lead for a long time. It is Chhattisgarh which seem to be slipping out of the saffron party's hand. Now the BJP is dancing in Chhattisgarh as well. At this moment, 49 leads, Rajdeep, for the BJP in Chhattisgarh.
And the turnaround is taking place in the tribal belt. Remember last time, 29 seats, the BJP won, the Congress won 25. Now in Bastar alone, the BJP leading in 8, the Congress in just 3, the CPI in 1. And the smaller party, the Amar party, is damaging the Congress. The the sense is that the Congress in the tribal belts is where they are taking the hit this time. And once you take a hit in the tribal belt, that's where that pivoted the Congress into victory last time. Now you're finding the Congress struggling, which is why even the likes of T.S. Singh Deo are trailing despite having 50% of the vote. I won't be surprised now if the BJP wins Chhattisgarh. It is 3-1 possibly.
And that would be a big victory because they were never really in the race in Telangana. So if your BJP is able to win all the 3 states in the Hindi heartland,
just a repeat of 2018.
What could have happened?
Reversal of 2018.
Reverse of 2018.
But the interesting thing could be that this could make 2024 that much simple and clear. There's been unpredictability around the verdict today. But if this is the way it shapes up, 2024 becomes that much more settled from a BJP point of view.
It also affects intra-India alliance dynamics.
India alliance is in trouble.
No, the dynamics within the alliance also change.
The Congress will be chastened. The other allies will say, we told you you can't beat the BJP in a head-on-head fight, so please back off and give us some space.
But as per sources, already an India Alliance meeting has been called on the 6th.
What's the point of this alliance?
This morning.
What is the entire
Ajay
point?
Alok of the Bharatiya Janata Party now joins us. Ajay, 50 leads at this moment for the BJP in Chhattisgarh. Not just is the BJP sweeping Madhya Pradesh, winning Rajasthan. If you end up winning Chhattisgarh, you would have swept the heartland.
Well, Rahul, the trends are very encouraging, and we always knew it right from the beginning. Though the whole media in the country was not ready to believe that we are doing good in Chhattisgarh or we'll sweep Madhya Pradesh. Everybody was saying Rajasthan, okay, but Madhya Pradesh is tough, Chhattisgarh, no way. Everybody was saying. But we on the ground always knew that, yes, we are going to come. Because people understood this matchbox concept of Congress government, what they were operating in Chhattisgarh. The whole matchbox theory. Congress, corruption. Corruption, money. Money going to Naxals and money going for conversion. This whole thing happened in Bastar, and that was the reason that today Bastar has replied them. And that's what we were saying, that this complete matchbox concept of the Congress governance is going to cost them, and it has costed Chhattisgarh a lot. Like I've always said, Chhattisgarh pe 36 war kiye Congress ne. It will take time for them to heal.
So what you're talking about is the Bastar region. It's often said that the power to Raipur goes from Bastar. 12 seats in Bastar. At this moment, the BJP is leading on 8 of those. It had only won the last time. The Congress is leading only on 3, down 8. And if Chhattisgarh is also in the BJP's kitty, do you think it makes, Ajay Alok, the path to 2024 that much clearer from the BJP's perspective?
Well, see, Bastar has a lot of importance because Bastar is essentially all the 12 seats except for one. Everything is ST seat. But in Chhattisgarh, if you look overall in totality, the 90 Vidhan Sabha seats, every seat of 90 Vidhan Sabha has around 15 to 25,000 of ST population. So the voice from Bastar, it resonates in whole Chhattisgarh. This is the truth. And that's what has happened. And let's wait for one more hour, and I think the picture will be much more clearer.
Is an interesting case study when you squeeze other leaders, likes of Arvind Netam, veteran Congress leader, left the party, formed his own Adivasi group. And Bhupesh Baghel was convinced, overconfidence, was convinced 3 months ago he's winning the election. So he didn't make any attempt to accommodate these leaders. They accommodated T.S. Singh Deo as Deputy Chief Minister in July this year. He felt resentful, or his supporters felt resentful. There was supposed to be a rotational chief ministership. And he spoke in Chhattisgarh, and if these numbers hold, that Mr. Baghel was a concentration of power. Everything was rooted, all his own bureaucrats, his principal, one of his key secretaries is behind bars for the last 1 year in the coal levy scam. So there was corruption allegation, then the Madhev betting scam happens just on the eve of the elections. And I think somewhere the sense went that Mr. Baghel is not inclusive enough. You have to be that. Shivraj Singh Chauhan, for all his other failings, has never given the impression ki main hi hu. He's always given the impression ki, I'm one of many. So I think Mr. Baghel, if these numbers hold, serious doubts over the way the Congress has run the campaign, and all full marks to the BJP for the way they've transformed their fortunes in both Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Rajasthan, they were expected to win, but these two states are the two states that will give them lots of satisfaction if these numbers hold. And I think Bastar is where the Congress, the tribal belt, made huge mistakes. You didn't take a stand on religious conversion. You didn't take a stand on Tendu leave pickers. You didn't take a stand when your leaders were leaving you. You paid the price for it.
Can I make a point? Like now, if you look at these 4 states,
yes,
in 3 states, incumbents are losing. Only in MP, the incumbent is likely to come back to power, which basically tells you something about the whole sort of like thing we make about welfare schemes as if that's the only way they work. Welfare schemes also get offset by how incumbents perform. On what issues, some things that you are mentioning about Chhattisgarh. Similarly, in Rajasthan, there were issues about scam students, like paper leak, all those kind of things. In Telangana, there were similar issues. So welfare schemes can only work if your performance on other metrics is also doing well.
And I may be wrong here.
In Madhya Pradesh also, I think there's a lot of things there, a lot of sort of undercurrent was there. It's a BJP organization, influence of the, so to say, the Sangh Parivar, religious polarization, all these things also play a very big role.
And I'll tell you a game changer that the BJP did in Chhattisgarh. 1 month ago, they announced a scheme of 12,000 rupees for women. This, and our numbers of Pradeep were showing it. Women voters, I keep maintaining, Rahul, there will never be a state which you will win without the woman voter anymore in India. And the BJP closed the gap, and actually in Pradeep's poll is leading among women voters.
And Rajit did not announce a farm loan waiver because the Congress
announced one.
For the second time around knew they were in trouble, announced a farm loan waiver like they did in 2018. The BJP didn't do that but came back with a 12,000 rupees for married women.
That's right. They've come for that. They've also given, of course, let's be honest, the BJP has also announced a slew of promises in Chhattisgarh, especially for the farmers. When it comes to MSP, they say we will double it. So all of that is there. But if your delivery systems work, even basic delivery systems, you have half a chance. But without that, simply announcing freebies is not going to work.
Because welfare is now
like Ashok Gehlot did.
Minimum expectations of citizens. You don't do anything for 5 years. If you are not going to provide welfare, you are not even in the race. But that, this is just to stand in the race. After that, you have to get other things also right to be able to win elections.
And I just wonder, if it remains 3-1, what happens to the India Alliance and the Congress leading into 2024?
Congress should have crushed it today to have any chance. Because anyway, you're going to have the Modi factor playing much more in the Lok Sabha. Congress should have not just won, it should have crushed it to have any chance. And this is... We'll analyze why this happened, but you let a pilot, Sachin Pilot, not be happy. You let Scindia go. All these mistakes will add up or not. One day...
But come on, Rashid, why does this people... No, 1 minute. Yeah. The Congress is calling, I'm told, on the 6th, once an India Alliance meeting. Does it go much weakened? Now they can't dictate terms. Otherwise, there was a feeling if the Congress wins 3 states, they'll dictate terms to the India Alliance. Now the Congress has to introspect if these are the numbers.
I think we must have one set of rules. I mean, if there is no correlation between state elections and central elections, suddenly when Congress loses, it becomes there is a direct correlation. Key part is that out of the 65 seats from these 3 states of Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Chhattisgarh, the BJP is already sitting on 62 seats. So it cannot improve upon it unless it gets all 65 seats. The key point there, of course, India alliances, they're co-partners, they're co-equals. It's a media narrative that the Congress wants to play Big Brother.
Rajdeep, if I could,
please do.
The internal, whatever Rashid Bhai may say, the internal dynamics of the India alliance do change. If the Congress had won Madhya Pradesh, let's say, or won Madhya Pradesh and Rajasthan, then the pressure on, let's say, an Arvind Kejriwal to do a deal with the Congress in Delhi would have been much stronger.
Yes.
Now that pressure has been relieved.
No, and where does it leave Preeti Rahul Gandhi? We spoke about Rahul Gandhi, his Bharat Jodo Yatra and the impact it has. We spoke about how he's been pushing for a caste census. If these numbers hold, Rahul Gandhi in the Hindi heartland just doesn't, or the Congress organization...
But he's admitted it himself that he doesn't really get the Hindi heartland. He said it in so many words. But having said that,
win?
But Rajdeep, exactly, having said that...
Then, right?
No, 1 second. Let me finish.
Let me finish.
Let me finish. Having said that, I would think where Telangana is concerned, as Rahul Gandhi's failed miserably to connect with the voters in a state like Madhya Pradesh, going on and harking about the caste census and the OBC, similarly in Rajasthan, what he's done well, and you must give him credit, Rajdeep, as we tell him, as we say that he's done badly in the Hindi heartland, is that the Telangana election, he is on the ticket on that election as well. It's Revanth Reddy's and his jointly. This is possibly the first election that Rahul Gandhi has won on his name. He didn't do it in Karnataka. He's possibly done it here.
I'm sorry, folks.
Possibly.
I'm sorry, folks. Today, the Congress can clutch on to Telangana, and it's an important win. But today is BJP's day out if these numbers hold. Let's be very clear. It is BJP's day out if these numbers hold. Now that they are leading even in Chhattisgarh, we don't know. Chhattisgarh could still go down to the wire. It could still be a super over. 48 is playing 41, lots of small. But as of now, clearly in the Hindi heartland, Rahul Gandhi and the Congress is messaging not working.
Where you talk about the India alliance, where the Congress completely got it wrong. For example, even in the state like Madhya Pradesh, the Samajwadi Party is not a big player, but influences at least 6 to 8 seats in the Bundelkhand region. What they could have done was tie up when the Samajwadi Party wanted a tie up there. Because in the
would have made any material difference?
Rashid Kadbai, I'll give you an example. In the last election, if you look at it, there were 6 seats where the Samajwadi Party polled in more than the winning margin. This time around, we don't know what the margin is. But look at the numbers. Look at the numbers right now. BJP is at 146. If they had tied in...
That is my point. See, Preeti, if you look at that map of Rajasthan, you look at, Madhya Pradesh, and you look at region-wise, the Congress is nowhere. Nowhere means nowhere. So I don't think this, Samajwadi Party would have mattered.
That's the dharma of an alliance, no?
Can I just make a point here? The fact is, if these numbers hold, Himachal Pradesh will be the only state, and someone can correct me if I'm wrong, north of the Vindhyas where the Congress is in power. It's in alliance in Jharkhand, but that's the nature of the map of India. North India is completely Congress mukt. Similarly, South India is BJP mukt. Now, what does that mean, particularly with delimitation coming a couple of years down the line? We don't know. Raman Singh of Chhattisgarh, Dr. Raman Singh, and Dr. Saab, I remember meeting him and he said, मैं आपको पेड़े खिलाऊंगा, मैं 12 बजे आपके प्रोग्राम पे आऊंगा 3 तारीख को. Dr. Saab, if you are watching, you had said 12 बजे आप आओगे, आप 50 तक पहुंच गए हो. You're 5 above the halfway mark. Raman Singh ji is talking to the media. Listen in.
पार्टी जब जो जवाबदारी दी है उसका क्रियान्वयन मैं करता रहा हूँ. आगे क्या जवाबदारी देगी पार्टी के नेता तय करेंगे.
ये 9 मंत्री पीछे चल रहे हैं अभी.
ये पूरी सरकार पीछे चल रही है. जब मुख्यमंत्री 2 राउंड में पीछे हो गया, इसका मतलब ये बता दिया कि जनमत उनके खिलाफ.
दावे कर रहे थे, कई तरह के दावे थे. 75 पार तो आपने अभी भी कहा है.
75 की बात कर रहे थे, और मैं कल भी आपको कहा था, मैंने आंकड़े भी बताए थे कि कांग्रेस कहां तक जाएगी, और वो 40 भी क्रॉस नहीं कर पाएगी.
सर, रिसेंट ट्रेंड में बीजेपी आगे बढ़ती दिख रही है, करीबन 42 से 43 सीट पे. क्या कारण है?
निश्चित रूप से भारतीय जनता पार्टी के पक्ष में शहरी और ग्रामीण क्षेत्र में स्पष्ट रुझान है, और ये वोटों में जनता की आक्रोश परिलक्षित हुआ है. और भारतीय जनता पार्टी जो आज रुझान दिख रहा है वो निश्चित रूप से आगे बढ़ के सरकार बनाने में सफल होगी.
एमपी और राजस्थान में भी काफी बढ़त दिख रही है.
तीनों राज्यों में भारतीय जनता पार्टी पूर्ण बहुमत के साथ सरकार बनाएगी. मुद्दे स्पष्ट रूप से 3 मुद्दों पे हमने बात किया था. कांग्रेस के वादे खिलाफी जन घोषणा पत्र का क्रियान्वयन नहीं कर पाए, पहला सबसे बड़ा मुद्दा था. भूपेश का भ्रष्टाचार दूसरा बड़ा मुद्दा था, और तीसरा बड़ा मुद्दा था विकास के सारे काम ठप पड़ गए थे. इन 3 मुद्दों को लेकर और भारतीय जनता पार्टी ने जो घोषणा पत्र जारी किया, मोदी जी की गारंटी एक सबसे बड़ा विश्वास था.
सर, महिलाओं का वोटिंग परसेंटेज काफी ज्यादा रहा. क्या लीकर बैंक का जो उनका मुद्दा था, जो वो प्रॉमिस किए थे, वो
महिलाओं के 12,000 रुपया मासिक देने की योजना, और महिलाओं को सम्मान के साथ 500 रुपया गैस सिलेंडर में देने की बात, और 18 लाख आवास देने की बात, इन मुद्दों को लेकर उनके अंदर बात आई.
Former Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, and the interesting thing is, when he comes out in this fashion, he is in some ways staking claim. He was never really projected. The likes of Arun Sahu, or maybe even an O.P. Chaudhary, Braj Mohan Agarwal, those are the kind of faces the BJP put out. But Shivraj Singh Chauhan and Raman Singh both coming out and staking claim. And it's very clear from these numbers at this moment that it could be 3-0 in the Hindi heartland. Bad news. Somebody sent Rashid Kidwai a message, the laddus are leaving the Congress office, it seems.
Yeah, वो कह रहे हैं उसकी मिठास चली गई.
मिठास चली गई कि लड्डू भी गए बीजेपी?
But the message to the Congress, again and again you celebrate prematurely at 7 in the morning, who brings laddus to the party office? And let me tell you this, 2 months ago, the BJP looked in trouble in both Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. Look at how they worked there. In Chhattisgarh, they concentrated on the Sahu Samaj. They concentrated on bringing back Raman Singh into the fold. So you had an older leadership as well, which was being looked after. They targeted the woman voter consciously. They targeted Bhupesh Baghel on corruption, put up a strong candidate against Bhupesh Baghel. A lot of micromanagement, Rahul. The difference I maintain between the Congress and the BJP, especially in the Hindi heartland, organizationally and micromanagement, is much better. The Congress, on the other hand, thought Chhattisgarh is a done deal, and the Congress thought, or so thought Kamal Nath, that Madhya Pradesh is a done deal. You paid for your overconfidence. And the BJP is just too strong an election machine to be ever, thought that you can pummel them into submission. Karnataka...
And Kamal Nath rebuffed SP for even 4 or 5 seats.
Kaun hai ye Akhilesh Vakilesh? I mean, you can't talk like this. Kaun hai ye Akhilesh Vakilesh?
During the recent Diwali Milan, and then once again over dinner recently, I had a long conversation with Home Minister Amit Shah around his level of confidence for Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh and Rajasthan. And I said that the polls seem to suggest a much tighter fight. What gives you this confidence? And what Amit Shah said, I think, is very important for viewers to understand what seems to have happened in these states. He says, if the poll shows that 100 people are voting for the Congress, listen carefully to what I'm saying, it's not wrong. That could really be what the poll shows. Maybe 80 people are voting for the BJP in that poll, and that poll is correct. He says the limitation with the poll is that the poll doesn't account for how many people the party can bring out on polling day to the booth and get them to vote. So if 100 said they were voting for the Congress, but only 70 showed up, 30 who said they wanted to vote for Congress didn't go to the polling booth, did not vote, the Congress gets only 70. But if 80 said they wanted to vote for the BJP, but if the BJP is able to pull out, say, 75 of them, you are still 75 versus 70 on counting day. He says that's the one thing the pollsters cannot account for. My ability, the party's ability to bring voters to the polling booth on polling day. That is the big difference. If the Congress is losing Chhattisgarh at this moment, it is the micromanagement of the BJP that's helped them. If they're winning that big in Madhya Pradesh, it's their ability to manage this election. The Congress in Telangana is doing well, but in the Hindi heartland, the direct power versus the BJP, the Congress has been bested at the hustings.
Except for the 2018 election, show me one election in the Hindi heartland, and now I'm going back to a decade and more, where the Congress has bested the BJP. Where is it? In the Hindi heartland, where the Congress has bested the BJP. You've seen what's happened in Uttar Pradesh over the years. The Congress is a completely fringe figure. In Rajasthan, they won last time and they lost this time. They'll say it's rotational chief minister. Chalo, we'll give you that every 5 years the government changes. Madhya Pradesh, how can you go, you believed that you had the state for the grabs, you lose it. Chhattisgarh, you are overconfident thinking Bhupesh Baghel won by a 2/3 majority last time. Jitna bhi kam hoga, 15-20 kam ho jayenge. I spoke to a congressman 3 days ago. I said, Chhattisgarh mein kya hai? 50-55 to aane hi hai, uske upar aayenge to acha. How? नहीं लास्ट टाइम थोड़ा कम हुआ है लेकिन इतना नहीं. That means you have not done your micro level management. You should have accommodated an Arvind Netam. You should have accommodated local leaders. There was, unless you do your local level management, as you said, Rahul, the last time, correct me if I'm wrong, the Congress has won 2 consecutive governments. 2 consecutive governments, mean re-elected. Is Tarun Gogoi
in a big state,
in a big state,
2011.
In 2011.
Mukul Sangma in 2013.
When was the last time the Congress has defeated anti-incumbency and won? Only Tarun Gogoi last in 2011. That means for the last 12 years, whenever you win also, you know how to grab defeat from the jaws of victory.
Just as far as trivia is concerned, there was also Mukul Sangma in 2013 and Ibobi Singh was at that time in the Congress in 2012.
Then you go back to Digvijay Singh in 98.
No, so there is a problem.
No. Before that, there was Sheila Dikshit.
Here.
No, but isn't there a...
No, but
Rahul...
I love election trivia, so don't mess with
but Rahul Kanwal, isn't there a question to be asked? That if you cannot, the BJP is able every now and then to get its governments re-elected. They did it in Uttar Pradesh.
Every now and then, they're doing it again and again. Every now and then is not the right way to put it.
Uttar Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Madhya Pradesh, Haryana are all examples where the BJP has shown the power to get their governments re-elected. So they are able to best anti-incumbency by a mix of welfareism, decent governance in some instances, and the micromanagement that you spoke about. On the other hand, the Congress party has not been able to do it for the last 10 years. Yeah. And then therefore the charge will be, Sarkar banti hai, and then you are arrogant in power. Sarkar to ban gayi, ab rahegi.
No, Rajiv, but you look at this way. You see, if you trust, regional leadership of Kamal Nath, Bhupesh Baghel and Ashok Gehlot, you are accused of, not doing anything. If you take everything in control, you say there is over-centralization. And there are a lot of factors. It's not simple. Look at welfareism. Ashok Gehlot did try to do that. Bhupesh Baghel tried. It failed. Maybe there is a lot of undercurrent for Ram Temple and all. I mean, we do not know why the BJP is winning with such a big margin.
Is it undercurrent for Ram Temple, Rahul Verma, or is it that the Congress simply is unable to handle power? Once they are in power, the accusation is they become ATM machines. I mean, their governments are used to simply finance other governments.
If you look at Rajasthan, to be fair to Ashok Gehlot, he's been chief minister 3 times. He's run reasonable governments. Yeah. But it is the nature of he's run reasonable governments, to be fair to him.
He's run reasonable governments. There are paper leaks
in nature of a bipolar polity that he loses.
No, I'll tell you what happened. And Preeti, you'll remember this. The youth of Rajasthan, any young man I met said, "Dekhiye paper leak kaisa hota hai." Koi
but Rajdeep, can I be honest? I've travelled all across Gujarat as well. And at that time, paper leaks was a huge issue. Did they vote on it? No. To be honest, I don't think the vote has really come on paper leak. And to give Gehlot at 72, Gehlot has lost miserably the last time he was 21. But
First point, in Indian politics, you are always going to see more people unhappy with any government than you are going to see happy. It's just the nature of politics. That's why it's called as cost of ruling. I think we were all thinking that BJP has a state problem and Modi has to come every time to pull up the state. In fact, these elections are showing that BJP is a very agile and a very, very adaptive
It's more
party,
cohesive,
right?
Rajdeep.
And they basically change what you call micromanage or micro-detailing. They plan much more like perhaps as Australia planned against India in the World Cup finals. They not just outplayed, but they had outthought about what the soil is going to look like,
You're equating India with
No, but the central leadership in the Congress doesn't really work with the state leadership. It's happened at various levels. You had in Madhya Pradesh, I remember 3 or 4 of Rahul Gandhi's rallies were cancelled because he just wasn't popular enough. You had murmurs within the Congress local unit that Kamal Nath wasn't listening to the central leadership. When you look at Rajasthan, Gehlot ran this campaign practically on his own. Could Sachin Pilot have been better accommodated? Definitely. You could see all was not well even though Rahul Gandhi was going to Rajasthan. You could see that all's not well in that unit.
Okay, so the big story at this moment, a BJP wave in the heartland. 152 out of 300, 230 in Madhya Pradesh, 106 out of 199 in Rajasthan, and now a convincing 52 out of 90. The Bharatiya Janata Party is taking claim to 2024 already with a very sound performance in the Hindi heartland. Jaiveer Singh joins us now from the BJP. Jaiveer, a big victory for the BJP in the Hindi heartland. Chhattisgarh initially seemed a bit tricky, but now as the rounds get counted, settling in quite comfortably in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Rahul, good morning. It is going to be balle balle for the Bharatiya Janata Party in all the 3 states. The dhol and the laddu celebration is going to come into the BJP's camp. The question is what will happen to all the laddus which the Congress party ordered. Number 2, the clear message is that Mr. Rahul Gandhi's politics of abusing the Prime Minister, appeasement and betraying the voter has been outrightly rejected. Let's not forget, he conducted the Bharat Jodo Yatra in Rajasthan and Madhya Pradesh. The Bharat Jodo Yatra has proven to be voter Todo Yatra for the Congress party as far as these 2 states are concerned. Chhattisgarh, it is not surprising. The voter was feeling upset. The Mr. Baghel has only filled the coffers of the AICC High Command rather than putting something in the jholi of the voter, and the result is in front of you. Another message is clear that for 2024, Ye dil mange more, Modi Sarkar once more. In 2018, BJP did not open an account. The score was 5-0 and the result was in front of you in 2019. Now imagine what will happen when BJP has 3 states in 2024. Will the Congress be only relegated to a regional party? I think the day is not far.
Can I ask you this, Jaiveer, because you are well placed to answer this question. What's the difference between the Congress and the BJP? You worked in the Congress, you worked in the BJP. What's the single biggest difference, according to you, between the two parties?
Rajiv, allow me 2 differences. Number 1, BJP knows the art how to win a losing battle. Congress knows the art how to lose a winning battle. Congress fights the elections on Twitter. Congress fights the election on the feedback of sycophants. Congress fights the election on the feedback of secretaries and OSDs. BJP and Prime Minister fight the election by putting their ear on the ground, by real-time ground pulse, and never taking anything for granted. In Congress, even before the election is announced, there is a fight about post of Chief Minister, who will get the cabinet ministership, which PN secretary, which accommodate which individual, who will go for the swearing-in ceremony. In Bharatiya Janata Party, we take each day as it comes. We fight the same election from panchayat to parliament in the same passion. And last difference, Radeep, and I must say that because I spent a considerable time in the Congress party. In BJP, the respect of the worker is paramount. And that respect is the reason their blood and sweat that today the BJP's Vijay Rath is entering all the 3 states. In Congress, the respect of worker is not in Congress's lexicon. It is only a one-way traffic.
You know, all your arguments are well taken, but with one caveat that 5 years ago, all these 3 states were won by the Congress. So we could have said the reverse then about the Congress party. I'm just saying that in politics, the point we were making, once the Congress comes to power, it's unable to retain power. The BJP is able to make comebacks in these states. Why do you think the Congress struggles to retain power?
I think, Radeep, you know, in politics, I'm very well aware, someday you're the pigeon and someday you're the statue. The issue is, the minute Congress wins an election, they take the next win for granted, and it's a hands-up approach. It's a complete surrender approach. Congress के भाग्य भरोसे और भगवान भरोसे चुनाव लड़ना शुरू कर देती है और मेहनत करनी छोड़ देती है. Look what is happening in Karnataka. They have won with a decisive mandate. There are allegations, stink of corruption coming from that state already. Infighting in that state has started already. Congress focuses more on their internal fiscal management and fixing management rather than delivering to the voters. BJP does not take any win for granted. One win does not ensure us a win in the second. That is the mantra we go in. We fight every election with the same sarfaroshi and shiddat from panchayat to parliament. You saw Mr. Amit Shah putting up posters in municipal elections in Hyderabad. I have never seen that culture in Congress party. And that is the major difference.
So 2 things have changed from the last time. One, the Congress's lead in Telangana, which had reached 73, is now down to 67. In Rajasthan, the lead of the BJP, which was 104, 105, is now up to 110. Chhattisgarh is 47 versus 42. And I want to take the margin calculator to see if Chhattisgarh is settled or is Chhattisgarh still tight. So, again, as I said, this level of analytics, nobody can do anywhere on national television. 63 seats in Chhattisgarh at this time, where the margin is less than 500 votes, ladies and gentlemen. Less than 500, 63 such seats. The BJP leading on 30, the Congress leading on 32. So at this moment, if anybody is dancing in Chhattisgarh, I'd say just give it some more time, at least 1 or 2 more hours for these leads to settle. How many seats have a margin of less than 1,000? 68 such seats. 34 of those for the BJP, 33 of those for the Congress. Chhattisgarh is on a knife's edge at this moment. Very, very tight. In Rajasthan, though, the BJP's lead is increasing. The one place where one party or one platform is winning without any contest is the live concurrent data, where India Today's lead continues to increase over all our competition. India Today now almost thrice the viewership of our next rival, which is Times Now, Republic at 3rd, NDTV, CNN, beyond, they're like way low. Nowhere in any polling that's happening at this time is the lead quite as much. Remember, this also in some ways is live counting data. And this counting data, Chetan, clearly shows that India today's lead is almost thrice. You could add up times now in Republic. They still wouldn't get to anywhere near India.
Before
In fact,
Chetan comes in, can I crack a
80.
joke?
No, Rajdeep, I think you can add all of them and they still won't come to India
Can I
today.
crack? You see, since you have advertised this program as double engine, right? अब बीजेपी का डबल इंजन क्लियर है, नरेंद्र मोदी जी और अमित शाह. हमारा डबल इंजन कौन है? Who is Narendra Modi? Who is Amit Shah? Chetan,
Who do you want to be?
who do I want to be in my next life?
No, if you had to choose between the roles between the both of you.
If I had to, Rahul, you go first. You want to be Amit Shah or Narendra Modi? Come on. Come on.
I refuse to. This is like somebody's laying out a banana peel.
That's a trap.
You're saying walk over the banana. Why will I walk over the banana?
You want to be Amit Shah or Narendra Modi?
I refuse. That's like a swinging ball.
No, you just say, I'm a humble worker of the party. That's the answer.
संगठन का कार्यकर्ता. मैं संगठन का कार्यकर्ता हूँ. No such delusion.
And you know, BJP has done, I know it is Congress's Telangana, let's give it to them fair and square, but they have, people said BJP will be nowhere in Telangana. They are at 7 seats, they were 1 last time. The vote share must have increased. They are probably going to increase their Lok Sabha tally there. They are doing really well in the Hindi heartland. I mean, whatever it is, the Congress has, like the gentleman before was saying, taken their success for granted.
No, but look at
they erased the Lok Sabha tally the last time. I doubt if they can increase the vote. They were 10% nearly.
I actually thought
Telangana a lot happening. Telangana, only 5 out of the 15 ministers are leading. The 10 of them are trailing, including KCR, who is in 3rd position in Kamareddy.
That's very embarrassing for him. So let me go across to Telangana.
He's trailing by,
and show that to our viewers for a moment.
Raven's lead is 2,000 votes.
The candidates of Telangana, the Chief Minister, how the mighty have fallen in Telangana. K. Chandrasekhar Rao in Kamareddy is trailing. He's leading in Gajwel. His son K.T. Rama Rao is leading. Bandi Sanjay Kumar, who used to head the BJP, is leading in Karimnagar. Revant Reddy is leading against the Chief. Now, just imagine, Revant Reddy is up against Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao in Kamareddy. I asked him, you're taking a panga, why are you doing this? He currently is leading, and that is quite
Rahul,
a big
there's a story there. Because KCR's strength is Gajwel. That's where he dominates. Why did he choose a second constituency? The first sign of weakness is when you choose a second constituency. And the first sign of strength is when the opposition leader is ready to say, okay, you're contesting the second place, I'll come and take you
There are 2 reasons why he chose Kamareddy. One, of course, he says that's the constituency where I was born, number 1. Number 2, he wanted to influence Nizamabad, where his daughter is going to stand for election in 2024. It's the adjoining constituency.
But when you start contesting 2 seats, it's the first sign of some weakness. And when your opposition is willing to take you on there, it gives a sense to the rest of the cadre.
Because the local Kamareddy MLA was not a strong candidate. There's another interesting development happening. BJP, 7 seats leading. Now, where are they leading? Apart from their usual places where they could have led, Nizamabad urban and Armoor. Now, both these constituencies have a sizable Muslim population. So, what is happening in Nizamabad district is interesting.
So, we can show the 7 BJP leads. They're leading in Adilabad, Alampur, Armoor, Gosha Mahal, Karimnagar and Maheshwaram, and Achampet, which is a reserved Dalit seat. Those are the 7 BJP leads. The Congress is leading on 69. That's up 50. And if you see, the Congress has leads in the north, the Congress has leads, except in the south, where the Congress doesn't seem to have done quite as well. In central, which is a bit surprising, frankly.
Because Mehboob Nagar is where Revant Reddy is contesting from, district.
So we can come once again to some of the VIP seats of Telangana. Madhu Gaud Yashki is leading in Lal Bahadur Nagar. Revant Reddy is winning on his 2nd seat as well. Itla Rajendran training in Gajwel. 2 K. Chandrasekhar Rao, the nephew of Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. Harish Rao is leading in Siddipet. Itla Rajendran is trailing in Huzurabad as well.
Both his seats.
On both his seats he's trailing. Uttam Kumar Reddy is winning in Huzuranagar. And let's now just look at the overall picture. If I look at how the map would be had this been a Lok Sabha election. So if you just added all the seats, the BJP currently leading on 325, the Congress on 243. The BJP frankly has hit this ball out of the park. If this is a semi-final, at this moment, 325 leads for the BJP.
Okay, we are predicting one more state. We can say now with some comfort that the BJP will form the government in Jaipur. Rajasthan's reverse of governments changing every 5 years will be maintained. The BJP now a comfortable 40 almost 50 seats ahead of the Congress. We can say with some comfort that the BJP will form the next government in Jaipur. So BJP forming a government in Jaipur, BJP forming a government in Bhopal, Congress set to form a government in Hyderabad. It is Chhattisgarh where the issue, as Rahul showed with that margin calculator, is still up in the air. Lots of seats still under 500 and the margin between the two leaders in single digits. Let's go to Nagarjun Dwarkanath, who's joining us from Hyderabad. Nagarjun, as always, knew where the winner was, and he's been at Revanth Reddy's house over the last few days. Nagarjun, you seem to pick the winner, whether it's in Karnataka or in Hyderabad. You know where the winner is. Where is Revanth Kadu?
Rajdeep, could you please repeat the question? It's too loud. We are unable to hear you. Can you please repeat the question?
My question is very simple. What is it that, how is it that you managed to find yourself always with the winner? I remember about 6 months ago, you were outside Siddharamaia's residence. This time you're outside Revanth Reddy. Is it a done deal that only Revanth will now be the chief minister? And did you have some inkling right from the beginning?
Helps to be a pilot.
Rajdeep, in fact, when I moved to Hyderabad in September, it was clear-cut the cadres were behind Revanth Reddy, and also when you have off-record chat with him, you know the way leader is thinking, you know the confidence, that where the confidence is coming from and the strategy they are doing. In fact, I've met all the three parties here, but it was Revanth Reddy who had all the confidence within the Congress party that I kept asking him, how do you manage to get 19 to 60? It's impossible because it should be a tsunami, and on ground when we go to people, they are still undecided. What Revanth Reddy used to, you have to look at it as a fresh elections. Everyone starts from 0 and not from 19. KCR is at 0, we are at 0. Both are starting afresh, and this is a fresh election. You can't carry forward the previous seat, is what he used to say. But look at the celebrations already. They have decided that he's going to be the chief minister, at least his followers. They're celebrating with crackers, they're celebrating with dolls, flags at Revanth Reddy's house. And of course, India Today is also here to cover all the color. And I'll try my best to get his interview first, like how we got Siddaramaiah, like how we got Mr. Basuraj Bommai.
So, Raman Singh is speaking to our correspondent in Raipur. I want to go across and see if we can catch that interview. Here it is.
पीएससी की भर्ती और महिलाओं के साथ जिस प्रकार का काम हुआ, जिस प्रकार घोषणा करके शराबबंदी की महिला को छल किया, ये उसका नतीजा है।
क्या लगता है आपको, कौन कौन से इश्यूज, करप्शन को आप पूरे 5 सालों तक उठाते रहे, बेरोजगारी को आप उठाते रहे, लेकिन गांवों में जैसा कहा जा रहा था कि कांग्रेस पार्टी अच्छा करेगी, ऐसा भी होता हुआ नहीं दिख रहा है। तो क्या लगता है आपको, कौन से इश्यूज हैं जो आपके फेवर में जिन्होंने काम किया?
गांव में और शहर में जबरदस्त रूप से भूपेश के खिलाफ आक्रोश था, उनकी नीतियों के खिलाफ आक्रोश था, उनके कार्य पद्धति के खिलाफ आक्रोश था, और उसको आज जो रुझान दिख रहा है वही उसका नतीजा है।
आपके पड़ोसी राज्य में भी जो भाजपा है वो अच्छा कर रही है, लगातार आप 5वीं बार मुख्यमंत्री बनने की तैयारी में हैं। शिवराज जी को
भी बधाई दूंगा, राजस्थान को भी सारे कार्यकर्ताओं को बधाई दूंगा। राजस्थान में, मध्य प्रदेश में, छत्तीसगढ़ में तीनों जगह भारतीय जनता पार्टी का परचम लहरा रहा है। इसका यदि क्रेडिट एक लाइन में दूं तो माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी की योजनाएं, प्रधानमंत्री जी की गारंटी और नरेंद्र मोदी जी और माननीय अमित शाह जी ने, माननीय प्रदेश राष्ट्रीय अध्यक्ष जी ने, जिस प्रकार नड्डा जी ने मेहनत किया, उसका नतीजा तीनों राज्यों का रिजल्ट है।
सस्ता सिलेंडर देना और जो मैदारी योजना है, आपको लगता है कि ये सब चीजें भी लोगों में गई और इनका फायदा मिला आपको?
निश्चित रूप से महिलाओं के लिए 12,000 के देने की योजना का असर हुआ, और किसानों को 31 रुपये में धान खरीदी का वादा और 2 साल का बोनस।
मेरे सामने मिठाई रखी हुई है, मैं जाऊंगा, मेरे कैमरा पर्सन दिखाएं। आपको खिलाएगा आला कमान और दोबारा से मुख्यमंत्री पद पर आसीन करेगा? 15 साल आप रहे
मुख्यमंत्री। बीजेपी का बनेगा ये तय हो चुका है, कौन बनेगा ये चेहरा विधायक दल तय करेगा।
कब होगी बैठक?
आज हमारे वरिष्ठ नेता आएंगे शाम को और एक बार बैठ के चर्चा करेंगे।
धन्यवाद हमसे बात करने के लिए। ये थे डॉक्टर रमन सिंह।
You have to.
That's Chief Minister Raman Singh. 47 leads for the BJP, 41 for the Congress. I want to walk across to the election intelligence dashboard and give our viewers a sense of whether Chhattisgarh is settling in or could there be a twist in the tail. If BJP wins Chhattisgarh, it's 3-1 In the heartland, it's 3-0. That's a big win for the BJP. So it's Chhattisgarh which will determine whether the match ends in a 2-2 draw or it ends in a big victory. And the margin calculator is very important in determining where things stand at this moment. In the live data feed that we are getting, there are 63 seats at this moment where the margin between the winner and the runner-up is less than 500 votes. The BJP is leading on 31 of those. The Congress is leading on 31. So unless you're a betting man, you keep your money in your pocket, because at this moment, Chhattisgarh is a very closely fought race, Rajdeep.
Rahul, we want one super over. You and I want one super over, given the way the other 3 elections have gone, where we predicted who's forming a government in Hyderabad, in Bhopal, and in Jaipur. But in Raipur, I think all bets are off. And remember, others are now 2. One of them is Hamar, I'm told. That's the Adivasi party, which is leading in 1. The other one is BSP. So what you have possibly in Chhattisgarh is, we've been talking about resorts and post-poll politics. I don't think many people expected that Chhattisgarh would throw it. Most people thought Rajasthan. I think that's where the polls have gone wrong. But Chhattisgarh is a tightly contested fight, except for 2018. Go back to 2003. Every election in Chhattisgarh, vote shares between parties have been within the margin of error of 3%. So you could see either of these 2 sides emerging victorious at the moment. The BJP looks in pole position, and I still think that you could have an election that goes to a super over. But it again shows the sharp rise in BJP's fortunes.
You can see that on the map.
Look at where the Congress, from 68, Congress is down to 40.
Rajdeep,
and the BJP's come up from 50
instead
to
of words, it's best illustrated through this data visualization. Look at this map from 2018 of Chhattisgarh. Look at how blue dominates all the way from the south to the north. Come now to 2023, where there's been a saffron surge in Chhattisgarh, a big pushback against the kind of dominance the Congress had. The Congress clearly took their position for granted, thought Chhattisgarh was in the bag. The BJP in Chhattisgarh at this moment seems to have snatched victory from the jaws of defeat. 49 versus 39. The BJP is engineering an election marvel at this moment in Chhattisgarh. This is election magic from a BJP perspective, Rajdeep.
No, I think, Rahul, it's a complete wave in that region. Chhattisgarh, Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh. It's a complete wave, and I don't see Congress forming government unless they have 48, 49, 50 in Chhattisgarh, because the others are not going to back Bhupesh Baghel at all. This is the thing. And I think there is a very strong it's a pro-Modi, pro-Hindutva, pro-Ram Mandir kind of wave, because it was not visible at the ground as such.
No, I think it is actually a belief that the BJP is a better organized party than the Congress.
Yeah.
Elections are increasingly about last mile organization and your micromanagement.
Who played better cricket? It's like, sometimes, it's like they just played better cricket.
That's right. No, and Rahul used the Australia analogy. The Australia analogy, when they played the final, they prepared for all conditions. They chose, they had the right people at the right moment. Pat Cummins knew when to slow down the game. You put Travis Head at the top. I think the BJP is a part. One thing we don't. One thing you don't realize about the BJP, and this is the problem with a lot of people. There is an election machine that works right down. I think Jaivir put it well. They are willing to be flexible. They realized that perhaps things were not going so well in Chhattisgarh a few months ago. They made those course corrections.
I'm willing to bet that somewhere in the BJP office, in the top echelons, this week they will have a meeting on Telangana 2024.
And they will hope with these numbers. A police officer just sent me a message saying, look, BJP will hope, with BRS out of the picture seemingly, they will start occupying that space. Because the moment the Congress is in power, the Congress will now see Telangana as an ATM. And then you will, the BJP will try and capitalize on that.
Because the BJP always finds it easier to take on the Congress rather than a regional party.
That's right.
I want to argue with Basit about one point. Yes. So he talks about Ram Mandir. With due respect, where was Ram Mandir an issue in this election in Madhya Pradesh?
Mr. Ashok Malik, in every public meeting, Prime Minister spoke about it.
No, but where was it a contested issue?
And there are a lot of Katha-vachaks. No. Look at the ground. You see, as reporters, we don't like to. I'm just telling you.
No, I'm not suggesting Ram Mandir.
A lot of Katha-vachaks were out on the ground, and they were all kind of this campaign was very much there.
In Rajasthan, yes, Mr. Malik, not in Madhya Pradesh.
But in Madhya Pradesh, it's been going on for months.
There were some pundits in our studio, some of them outside, who, when the initial trends were coming, were talking about how great a day today is going to be for Rahul Gandhi and how this is the comeback of Rahul Gandhi in the Bharat Jodo Yatra. I mean, if this is the data that holds, it doesn't really show Rahul Gandhi, Rajdeep, in very good light. I mean, because initially all the... because everybody was making it Rahul Gandhi ne aisa kar diya, waisa kar diya. Now what?
Because there is a wave.
No, 1 minute.
Welfareism was bashed by Ashok Gehlot and Bhupesh Baghel. So welfareism is not a, a kind
now
of...
Now if it goes... Earlier, all of you were saying, oh, Rahul Gandhi has done this, done that. His credibility is much higher post the Bharat Jodo Yatra. Now what's happened?
No, 1 minute. Can I just make this point? That Rahul Gandhi, Bharat Jodo Yatra, is working south of the Vindhyas, where the Congress organization is already well established, and the Congress is the principal challenger either to the regional party or the BJP. He has not offered any narrative. Let me finish. He has not offered any narrative which can shake up the Hindi heartland, where clearly Mr. Modi is Neta number 1.
No, but 2 hours ago, the narrative in this studio was different.
No, not
everybody was talking about how great a job Rahul Gandhi has done. Now it will be a big victory for Rahul Gandhi.
You see, Rahul, I'm saying that Rahul Gandhi is this thing of Mohabbat ki dukaan has not clicked. वो दुकान बंद हो गई.
आप तो सुबह बोल रहे थे click कर गई.
No, the results have proved otherwise.
That's what I'm saying. No, that's the problem with pop panditry.
No, it's not panditry. It's, you see, the thing was not when Prime Minister Modi was talking about, Ram temple issue, people thought it's not an issue, it's not finding traction. It shows that it has found traction. When Katha watchers were going town to town, city to city, village to village.
You can't say Madhya Pradesh has been
I don't think this election has anything to do with Ram Mandir or Hindutva. State elections are fought distinctively on local issues, based on the quality sometimes of your local leadership, your organization of elections, your last mile connectivity. I have been saying this for the longest time, that the Congress on all these fronts is weak in the Hindi heartland.
In the
and it's not just doing one Bharat Jodo Yatra is not going to repair the damage organizationally that you've had over 20 years in the Hindi heartland. On the other hand, just a minute, sir. Because let's be fair. In the southern part, we make sweeping statements either way. There are nuanced statements to be made. In the Hindi heartland, for the last 20 years, the BJP has been the dominant party. The Congress is organizationally weak. You can't recover it with one yatra. On the other hand, in South India, the Congress is organizationally more robust.
Come on, in Telangana they hardly had an organization before Karnataka. A lot of it they put together now.
You can't.
The point I'm making. Because
Rahul Kanwar, you can't have it both ways and say South India, I will give no credit to the Congress, but I will give all the credit to the BJP in the Hindi heartland. I am giving all the credit to the BJP in the Hindi heartland.
Totally misunderstanding.
I'm giving credit to the Congress.
You are misrepresenting what I'm saying. The point I'm making is that if they won in Telangana, it's because there was massive anti-incumbency against the state government.
It was not a pro-Congress vote.
It's not as if our pundits sitting on one side were making it seem as if Rahul Gandhi's led the party to power in Telangana. Here's what's happening at the BJP headquarters. Let's take a look at the images over there.
I don't know why.
In Bhopal, Ashwini Vaishnav, the Union Telecom and IT Minister, he played a big role. This was one of his big Sangathan responsibilities.
He and Bhupendra Yadav.
He's been in Madhya Pradesh for a very long while. It's a big victory. 157 leads. Make no mistake, the biggest victory of all today is in Madhya Pradesh. And the reason for that is you are up against 4 terms of anti-incumbency. From there, for the Bharatiya Janata Party to pick up 157 seats is a phenomenal achievement that you simply cannot take away. The BJP, they're celebrating at its office. Ashwini Vaishnav, he's seen largely as a technocrat, suave minister. He's really been put out there in an attempt to try and up his organizational skills as well, given a tough challenge. This is Jyotiraditya Scindia. Lots was being said again about problems in integration. You can see the relief writ large on his face in Gwalior Chambal. I'll take you through those numbers. In Gwalior Chambal, the Bharatiya Janata Party has done very well, and that would give a lot of hope and a lot of respite to Jyotiraditya Scindia, who really was up against it if the party had not done well in Gwalior Chambal. In Gwalior Chambal, the BJP, in fact, 19 seats up from the last elections. In Bagelkhand, down 2, Bhopal up 1, Bundelkhand up 4. The biggest gains are coming from that Gwalior Chambal belt of Jyotiraditya Scindia, where the BJP is up 19. In Mahakaushal, they're up 15. In Malwa, they're up 17. In Nimar, they're up 4. The BJP really, Rajdeep, hitting it out of the park and making electoral history in Madhya Pradesh. So many terms of anti-incumbency when you're up against this. to get this verdict is a phenomenal achievement.
It shows that after Gujarat, possibly after Gujarat, Madhya Pradesh is going to be the next BJP dominant state, because you're going back to 2013 where the BJP had swept the state. And after the comeback that the Congress made in 2018, to be back to square one in a two-party state suggests to me BJP on the march in Madhya Pradesh. And remember, there are 29 seats in Madhya Pradesh Lok Sabha, 11 seats in Chhattisgarh. Add the two with these numbers and what you've had in Gujarat.
Let's listen to Ashwini Vaishnav.
BJP all the way.
सरकार ने काम किया है डबल इंजन सरकार के प्रति जो जन जन का विश्वास है, मोदी जी के नेतृत्व के प्रति जो जन जन का विश्वास है, और जिस तरह से शिवराज जी की परफॉर्मेंस रही, काम हुआ है, उसके आज परिणाम सबके सामने है। संगठन ने जो काम किया उसके परिणाम सबके सामने है। बहुत अच्छी जीत है। मध्य प्रदेश के जनता को सबको बधाई।
सर, राजस्थान और छत्तीसगढ़ में भी लीड मिल रही है सर उसको लेकर। Okay, that's Ashwini Vaishnav. His talk in the internal BJP circles, Ashok Malik will also go up because he's largely seen as a technocrat kind of guy to now help the BJP.
He's held the organizational reins for an election and delivered.
It's also interesting how they upskill their own resources. So you don't want to present him only as a technocrat.
Sitting in Delhi, you send him out there and he's had to work hard, he's delivered. There's one point I'd like to make. We talk about Rahul Gandhi, Narendra Modi, individuals. And of course, individuals do matter, I'm not denying that. But there is something to be said about the party organization as well. In Chhattisgarh, the Congress is finding it difficult to defend a one-term government. In Madhya Pradesh, the BJP has defended a 20-year government and reinvented itself in a sense, because this election campaign in Madhya Pradesh has been very different from the last one.
You know, I think, and particularly let's look at the last 5 years. You've had 2 years of COVID. When Shivraj Singh Chauhan took office, COVID had just, a lockdown had been declared. So they had 2 very difficult years. You come out of those 2 very difficult years and you're virtually facing a fresh election. So I think all credit to Shivraj Singh Chauhan.
And Chhattisgarh is also settling. Chhattisgarh, which for a while seemed tight. Ladies and gentlemen, Chhattisgarh seems to be settling in favor of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Let me take you through the numbers for Chhattisgarh. In Chhattisgarh, the BJP now has 51 leads, the Congress has 36. Let me take you through what the seat share numbers in Chhattisgarh are looking like and what the new assembly in Chhattisgarh could look like. From a Congress wave in 2018, the BJP now coming back very strong, 36 seats up from the last time. If we look at some of the regions of Chhattisgarh and take you through how the party has done, it's often said the power map of Chhattisgarh really comes through Bastar, where the BJP is leading on 8, up 7 from the last time, the Congress only on 3. These were the seats where elections were held in the first phase. If I look only at the first phase, just for what it's worth, if I look only at the first phase of Chhattisgarh and show you the seat share in the first wave in Chhattisgarh, 11 wins, leads for the BJP, 8 for the Congress in Chhattisgarh. And if I look at the overall picture, if all these 638 seats are added up, the BJP 328, the Congress only 239, the BJP really hitting it out of the park in the semi-finals in a head-on-head fight against the Congress.
No, I think what you've got therefore is now a scenario where you've got 3 fault lines. One, old versus new electioneering. The BJP does new age electioneering. The Congress does old age electioneering.
In some places, they're also doing new age.
Where they're doing it, like they did in Telangana, they've been reasonably successful. You've got the BJP more willing to effect a generational change. The Congress less willing to effect a generational change. And in my view, you've got a clear north-south divide in this country. North of the Vindhyas, the BJP today is a real machine. You can call it a wave, you can use whatever terminology, it's a machine. South of the Vindhyas, I would say the Congress, on the other hand, is recovering some of its lost ground. So I think you've got to see this in the larger context. But remember, India has only 135 seats south of the Vindhyas. It has more than 200 seats north of the Vindhyas.
I'd just like to take one point you made about the generational change. My sense is we may be looking at a situation where the BJP gets 3 first-time chief ministers and builds a team for the 2030. For the 2030 milestone, rather than for now.
So who do you think could be?
I don't know. I don't have names.
But Mr. Malik,
just please call me Ashok. I don't think the BJP would want to repeat the mistake that the Congress made in 2018 when it went back in time for chief ministers rather than empowered Scindia and Rajesh and Sachin Pilot, which would have given it at least talking points for the Lok Sabha election.
But Alok, if you look at
this is the pilots India
Your
curse.
point is very valid, but they did appoint, Bhupesh Baghel, relatively younger face,
And they
coming
did
from OBC
relatively
background,
better.
with no results. That's what I'm saying. This is a wave election.
This is not a wave. This is
a
not-
wave.
I don't think this is a wave, but Congress relies a lot on unforced errors. They feel like BJP will make a mistake and will somehow win, and the BJP rarely
No, but
makes.
BJP doesn't make
they
mistakes.
don't make mistakes.
They're
Usually.
trying.
Sometimes it can happen.
No, if you think of
In
it as
Karnataka-
cricket, you really have to play much better than the BJP to win.
Yeah.
If you're counting on the BJP making mistakes, you'll find very few of
Yes,
them.
Preeti.
Yes,
Preeti.
I remember, where the Chambal area was in Gwalior, I spent an evening with the cadre of the Congress. And one thing they said really struck home on what even Jayaveer said, on how they treat their own. And it's interesting because what they pointed out was, अगर कांग्रेस चाहती तो वो एक राज्यसभा सीट दिग्विजय सिंह के चाहते विवेक तनखा को नहीं, अगर ज्योतिरादित्य सिंधिया को दे देती, आज हमको ये नहीं देखना पड़ता ग्वालियर में. So on that account, and even if you heard Mr.